stable relationship with a girl who was my life. She had chubby legs and elbow hair. I dreamed she'd be my wife. But she dumped me on a Wednesday, left me heartbroken in a ditch. But I think I know what happened that turned my whore into a bitch. The deep state made my girlfriend leave me. Those cunts did it again. She got a payoff from the government, and now she's seeing other men. Why they do this to me, I have no idea why. They did a psyop on my girlfriend to make her go fuck other guys. This has happened like 1,000 times, and it's gotten pretty old. These bitches keep on leaving me because they are mind control. The elite have focused in on me, putting chemtrails in the air. They steal away my girlfriend using cognitive warfare. The deep state made my girlfriend leave me. Those cunts did it again. She got brainwashed by the government to go chase after other men. Why they do this to me, I have no idea why. They did a psyop on my girlfriend to make her sleep with other guys. I know it's the Rothschild family, they're watching me with drones. I don't have evidence, but I feel it in my bones. All I want is a girlfriend, is that really much to ask? These cock-block fucking globalists can kiss my goddamn ass. The deep state made my girlfriend leave me. Those cunts did it again. My love life has been sabotaged by a shadow government. Why they do this to me, I have no idea why. They did a psyop on my girlfriend to make her sleep with other guys.
What is up, hooligans, and happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. Now, I appreciate all of you guys being here. If you're over on Rumble, please hit that like button. More likes equals more hooligans. We're going to read through the schedule really quick, and then we will be checking on all the chats. So let me know how you hooligans are doing today. Then, of course, we'll be getting things started. First off, we are waiting on President Trump. He's supposed to be announcing some new production deal. I don't really know what that means, but either way, when he gets on stage, of course, we'll give him priority. Otherwise, we're going to be starting off with this video titled Abbott Warns Texas Dems Amid Restricting Showdown, or Redistricting Showdown. I really don't think anything's going to happen to these people, but either way, they keep saying they're going to do something about it. Then we got a video titled President Trump Threatens Federal Takeover of D.C. After Doge Employee Gets Brutally Attacked. Then we got a video titled Adam Schiff Under Criminal Investigation for Falsifying Bank Documents. Then we got a video that's titled Not American. That's why they're going to be investigating in this, says Johnson. They're talking about preventing debanking. President Trump's going to sign an executive order to stop debanking from happening. Then we got a video titled Border Czar Tom Homan details new Speedway Slammer Detention Center in Indiana. It's good stuff. Then we got our midlife break. Our funny video halfway through is provided by Stoner, and it's titled Being a Man is Hard. Then getting back into the news, we got a video titled Axe Murderer in Minnesota Released from Prison After State Law Enacted. We covered a similar law that they're trying to pass in California, where if you go to prison and get a life sentence as a minor, after you meet the requirements, they're going to release you. And this guy, he just got that kind of treatment. Then we got a video titled Ghislaine Maxwell reportedly cleared Trump in interview with DOJ. They're talking about releasing information about her interview, as well as saying that President Trump didn't do anything too concerning around her. Then we got a video titled Criminal Illegal Gets Restraining Order Against ICE. That doesn't even make any sense, but, you know, it's the world we live in. Then last little bit of the news, of course, is Lefties losing it. This one's titled Clinton's Called to Testify in Epstein Probe. Then we'll be getting into the fun stuff. We'll be opening today's door of the Advent Calendar sent by Tori Wayne. Today is the last day of the Advent Calendar. Then we'll be starting something new tomorrow. Then we got our two funny videos of the day. First one was provided by Beck Frank, and it's titled It's Beer 30 Somewhere. And our official funny video of the day was provided by Tiger Jaw, and it's titled Life Comes at You Quick. All of that's coming up next. But first, we're going to hop in the chat, see how you hooligans are doing today. What is up, everyone, over on jeffmaclive.com. What's up, Snooks? What's up, Russell? Happy freedom, you hooligans. Appreciate all of you guys being on the website. And what is up, everyone, over on Rumble? Ghostly, you were first today. Happy freedom to you, and I appreciate you racing in the chat, Ghostly. Beck Frank, happy freedom to you. Russell, you're omnipresent. Appreciate you. What's up, Wayward? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Ramsey? What's up, Boosted Flames? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Tony Rez? What's up, Film What Matters? Happy freedom. What's up, Spicy K? Let me see. What's up, Plastic Quack? Appreciate you being here. What's up, Vinny C? What's up, Mr. Satan? What's up, Puffin' Stuff? Happy freedom. Don't forget, hit that like button. See if you can get us on the front page of Rumble. And what is up, everyone, over on Kick? Happy freedom to you. And what is up, everyone, over on Twitch? What's up, Crazy Times? What's up, Tony Rich? And what's up, Contempt? Happy freedom. And what is up, everyone, over on the communism platform? Russell, you were first over here. You are truly omnipresent. Wayward, you are also omnipresent. Appreciate you. What's up, Mana? What's up, Mike Ingle? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Spirit Matter? What's up, Joe? Happy freedom. Mr. Satan, you are omnipresent. Appreciate you. What's up, Brenda? Happy freedom to you. You hooligans are welcome to hit that like button as well. And what is up, everyone watching over on Odyssey? Happy freedom to you, and happy freedom to everyone watching on X. I am still trying to figure out what's going on with the chat over there. We'll see what I can figure out. I've wrote everybody, but nobody's wrote me back, so we'll figure it out. What's up, Jay Spray? Happy freedom to you. Once again, this is what's going on at the White House. We are waiting for President Trump to get on stage, but while we're waiting, we're going to go ahead and cover some other videos. He was supposed to be on stage 17 minutes ago, so I'm sure it won't be too much longer. But either way, we're going to move forward here. Like I said, this first video is Greg Abbott warning Texas Dems amid redistricting showdown. This is kind of a follow-up video. They said that they put a warrant out for their arrest and all this other stuff, but it's not what it seems. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, we have these Hooligan Strong t-shirts. Now, this design was created by Alistair, and Alistair is a badass in just about everything he does. So I will be posting his link in all of the chats for you hooligans to have the opportunity to hire him for your creative needs, because if you think it, he can create it. Now, this design does come in shirts for men, shirts for women, tank tops for men, tank tops for women, pullover hoodies, zipper hoodies, coffee mugs, dog tags, and we even made steel tumblers out of this design. Today I got on the plain Jane JeffMAC t-shirt. We got lots of items and lots of designs over in the merch store. We'll be dropping all the links in the chats while we're watching this first video.
Governor, great to have you here on the show. You heard the reaction there from some of your fellow governors. What do you say?
Some very rich hypocrisy on their part. There are no states more gerrymandered than California and Illinois and New York. In Illinois, I think they may have maybe 3 congressional seats for Republicans, despite the fact that Trump won more than 40% of the vote there. Same thing applies in states like California and New York. I don't think those states can gerrymander any more than they have. What Texas is doing, actually, we're drawing districts to provide every voter in the state the opportunity to cast a vote for the party and candidate of their choice. 4 of the 5 districts we're drawing, they're going to be Hispanic districts. They happen to be Hispanic Republican districts. One is going to restore the Barbara Jordan district in Harris County, Texas. And so what Democrats are really concerned about, if you look under the hood, is the fact that Hispanics and even black voters are voting more for Republicans than they have for Democrats in the past. The results of President Trump's electoral victory prove that. You have a map up, and it's a map of districts, but the fact of the matter is, if you look at the map of the presidential election, you'll see all across the border counties, President Trump won those counties, which are heavily Hispanic counties. Hispanics now vote Republican, and Democrats are losing it because of that.
Let's talk about the Democrats who have fled the state of Texas for a moment, Governor. On Sunday, you suggested they could, citing an attorney general opinion, be arrested and replaced for abandoning their office. Earlier today, I spoke to Representative Oliverson here in Texas, and he made me aware, which I was not aware, that some of the Democrats who are not showing up for a quorum are actually still here in the state. So is it the case that you could actually arrest those representatives and bring them back to Austin to establish a quorum?
So that is correct. And Will, as we're talking right now, Texas Department of Public Safety officers are on the streets looking for those Democrat House members to arrest them and to take them to the Texas Capitol and hold them there until a quorum is reached.
All right. And then, and that may, I'm not sure how many, can you tell me how many different representatives that we're talking about are in the state of Texas? I believe you're 6 short right now of a quorum. Would that number bring you to a quorum?
So that's a fact that we don't know yet. We don't know which Democrats remain in the state who are not yet identified. We don't know exactly how many are out of state. But know this also, Will, and that is the Texas Department of Public Safety is also working with officials in other states to find ways in which we can try to arrest the Texas Democrat members in other states and bring them back to the state of Texas.
Well, that was my next question I was going to ask you, Governor. Of course, Texas DPS would have limited powers to arrest anyone out of state. Most of these Democrats have fled the state for that express purpose. Representative Oliverson has said that both you and Attorney General Ken Paxton, though, have looked into whether or not they're funding these trips or fundraising off of these trips, which would amount to bribery. Would that open up the potential for you to go retrieve some of these representatives who have fled the state?
It opens up several opportunities. One, bribery in Texas is a felony. Felony is the type of offense that we can issue papers to have these Democrats brought back. Another thing, though, that the Democrats don't seem to know, and that is taking or receiving a payment like they have to escape or not take a vote subjects them to forfeiture of their seat. That's going to be one of the legal grounds you're going to see asserted here immediately to seek the vacation or elimination or abandonment of these House seats by the Democrats. So we will remove them from office and call for elections to replace them.
But what kind of timeline? You said immediately. My understanding is that is a legal process. It would have to be established by a judge. At least that's the opinion of the Attorney General, I believe, established in 2021. And that would require a judge to discern abandonment. So that seems like that could take some time.
So when I say immediately, I'm talking about when all the paperwork is going to be filed with the courts, which is going to be immediately. Secondly, there will be requests for immediate responses from these courts, knowing that they're dealing with an immediate timeline. You're a lawyer. You know you can go into court and you can get a quick resolution for matters that have a short timetable. That's exactly what we're dealing with right here.
There's a lot of different elements to democracy. I'm just not sure when it became an acceptable element of democracy to flee the process in protest or deprive the democratically elected representatives of a majority vote. But several times now we've seen this play out in the state of Texas. So we'll be following along over the next couple of days. Thank you, Governor Abbott.
Okay. So if you listen to the wording there, unless they can get them on bribery, they're not really going to be arrested. And I was saying that when they issued the arrest warrants, that this has happened before and nobody's going to really get in any real trouble over this. They're saying, well, first, Greg Abbott's claiming that the Dems are upset because Hispanic and black voters are voting Republican, and that's what caused the Democrats to flee. And that could be. But supposedly, there's Texas officers on the streets currently looking for the Dems to arrest them and then bring them to the Capitol and hold them there until quorum is reached. Not take them to jail. Just make them do their job, which is very interesting. Now, if they can prove that the Dems are committing bribery, then they can come after them criminally, and it could cause them to also forfeit their seat and their position if they are charged with bribery and stuff like that. But that's a huge if. That is a huge if. And so we'll see how this turns out, but I really think this is going to just be a bunch of nothing, just like the last time it happened. Next up, President Trump threatens federal takeover of D.C. after Doge employee is brutally attacked. We're going to go ahead and just get right into this video, I suppose. Why not? Still waiting on President Trump, which he's not on stage yet. As soon as he gets on stage, we'll go ahead and flip to him. But until then, we're going to go ahead and cover this video. Like I said, President Trump threatens federal takeover of D.C. after Doge employee gets brutally attacked. Make sure you hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommiTube, and let's get into this.
In other news, President Trump is threatening a federal takeover of D.C. after police say a former Doge employee was brutally beaten in the nation's capital.
Truly unbelievable. Lucas Thomason joins us live in Washington. Lucas, these type of attacks have been happening for years now.
They sure have, Lawrence. Good morning. Also to Ainsley and Griff. For those eating breakfast, the image that we just showed you and we're about to show you again is tough to watch. The 19-year-old former Doge staffer known as BigBalls was beaten by a violent mob of minors in the nation's capital in a popular part of town, according to police. A 15-year-old man and a 15-year-old woman were arrested and charged with unarmed carjacking. The attack prompted President Trump to post, "Crime in Washington, D.C. is totally out of control. Local youths and gang members, some only 14, 15, and 16 years old, are randomly attacking, mugging, maiming, and shooting innocent citizens. The most recent victim was beaten mercilessly by local thugs." Trump warned if crime is not dealt with properly, he may be forced to take over.
Somebody from Doge was very badly hurt last night. You saw that. A young man who was beat up by a bunch of thugs in D.C. And either they're going to straighten their act out in the terms of government and in terms of protection, or we're going to have to federalize and run it the way it's supposed to be run.
Now, this summer, Edward Korestein, the former Doge lieutenant known as BigBalls, spoke to our own Jesse Waters. Elon Musk reacting to the attack on his platform X, saying, quote, "A few days ago, a gang of about a dozen young men tried to assault a woman in her car at night in D.C. A Doge team member saw what was happening, ran to defend her, and was severely beaten to the point of concussion. But he saved her. It is time to federalize D.C." Here's a look at those recent attacks this summer. Back in May, a House staffer was the victim of an armed carjacking in the Navy Yard next to Nats Park. In July last month, a congressional intern was murdered in a crossfire from a drive-by shooting. And now, BigBalls left bloodied after this attack. President Trump says he wants gang members over the age of 14 to be prosecuted as adults, guys.
Did the people who allegedly attacked him, did they know that he was a part of Doge, or was it just because he was trying to help the lady that was being attacked?
The latter, Ainsley. It appears this attack happened about 3 a.m. on Sunday, early morning. It happened on 14th Street, just north of Le Diplomat, other popular restaurants in Washington. It's probably one of the most popular parts of town, Ainsley. It appears to be because Mr. Korestein stepped in to try to save this woman from being carjacked, which he was successful in that endeavor. He was attacked for stepping in. He did also save his girlfriend, who he put in his car before stepping in.
Wow. Y'all be careful.
All right, BigBalls assaulted there. No good. They are saying that BigBalls was assaulted to the point of concussion while trying to defend a woman that was being attacked and carjacked by a dozen young men. They're saying that a 15-year-old man and a 15-year-old woman are being charged with unarmed carjacking. Apparently not assault. And that doesn't make any sense considering the way he looked, but at least they got 2 of them out of the dozen, I guess. And they're saying that President Trump is threatening to do federal control over D.C., which we heard that yesterday when we covered him live. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the screen. We're still waiting for President Trump to get on stage here to do the thing. Either way, next up we have, if President Trump doesn't walk out, Adam Schiff under criminal investigation. It's coming up next. But first, we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about BigBalls being assaulted, as well as Greg Abbott saying he's going to do something to the Dems for fleeing to Illinois. What's up, Matt Rogers? Happy freedom to you. Russell, my BigBalls get assaulted occasionally. Only if you're lucky. Matt Rogers, what if it was a setup? Like Schmullet or whatever his name is. He's faking being attacked. I mean, I don't know. I feel like anything is possible now. Era 16. I'm cringing right now. Bloody BigBalls. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Happy freedom to you, AR-16. Ghostly, he got his nose broke. It looks worse than it is. Holy. See, and how did they not get assault charges? They charged 2 people with unarmed carjacking, but not assault. That doesn't make sense. What's up, Crit Kiss? Happy freedom to you. Living up to his name, helping some girl out. Yep. Happy freedom to you, Metal. What's up, Relax? Happy freedom. Salted balls. Oh, Wayward. No, they said they didn't know that it was Big Balls. They just assaulted him because he prevented them. Well, I guess he didn't prevent them because they weren't charged with attempted carjacking. They were charged with carjacking. So he was interfering with them hijacking some woman's car, and that's why they tuned him up. What's up, Elder Zoomer? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Kicks? Happy freedom to you. Kicks, you hear what YouTube is doing with IDs? Yeah. Yep. They're implementing AI, and if they think that you're lying about your age, then they're going to force you to upload a picture of your ID over on YouTube. Yeah, I don't know. I've been telling people for years to stop using YouTube, but, people don't listen to me. Wayward justice for Big Balls. That's right. Metal, it's out of control everywhere, not just DC. Yep, you're absolutely right. Happy freedom to you, Watchmen. What's up, Vinny C? Happy freedom. What's up, Roy? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Colty? Happy freedom. What's up, Willie Fix It? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Plastic Quack? Happy freedom. Wayward. Oh, was Big Balls set up by somebody? I mean, they're saying no, but it's hard to say. Matt Rogers, like the attack on the woman was a setup? What do you mean, like she was in on it? What's up, Blue Ruby? Happy freedom to you. What's up, TBD? What's up, Rad? What's up, CJ? Happy freedom. No, let's hear what this is.
Him, and we're going there right now.
Talk first about the India tariffs, which went up to 50% today. It's important to understand that the rationale for the India tariffs are very different from the reciprocal tariffs. This was a pure national security issue associated with India's abject refusal to stop buying Russia oil. And the math of this, every American needs to understand, because it's related to the trade situation. You start with the fact that India is the Maharaja of tariffs. It's the highest tariffs in the world, charging on American products, and it's got high non-tariff barriers, so we can't get our products in. So we send a lot of dollars overseas to India to buy their products in an unfair trade environment. India then uses American dollars to buy Russian oil. Russia then uses those American dollars that come from India to finance its armaments to kill Ukrainians. And then American taxpayers are then called upon to pay for the weapons that have to defend Ukraine against Russian armaments paid for by American dollars that came from India. That's got to stop. That math doesn't work. The president understands the connection between economic security and national security, so that was the bottom line there. Second thing, totally unrelated, I want to talk just briefly and make one point about the Russia hoax, because Can I ask you about the India tariffs first before you do that? Yeah, sure. On that front, if that's the rationale, China buys more Russian oil than India does, and they have not been targeted for that. So why is India having its tariffs doubled? As the boss says, let's see what happens. Keep in mind that we have over 50% tariffs on China already. Okay. Right, but you could but they haven't been punished for buying Russian oil. We have over 50% tariffs on China, so we don't want to get to a point where we actually hurt ourselves. Okay, so that question. And I think I've given a really good answer to that. We've got tariffs of 50%, and we already have high tariffs on China. So I take your point. The President certainly will be working with China on that issue. Okay.
Just on that as well, the President mentioned the money that India makes selling those oil products on the international market. Australia, where I'm from, buys a fair bit from India. Has the administration got its eye on countries that are then buying
Yeah,
their products.
we're looking at that all. It's got to stop. I mean, again, think about what I just told you. It's like American dollars buy Indian products, and that sets in motion where those dollars finance a war, which then requires American taxpayers to pay for defending against the Russian armaments. So that kind of trade doesn't work. Okay, that just doesn't work. Now let me just really shift gears radically, because I want to talk a little bit about the Russia hoax, the Grassley report, and the Durham Annex, which came out last week. I had been working with Senator Grassley's office. I got to give him three cheers, because he's been working relentlessly to get out the information about the Russia hoax. And here's what I want to say. I went to prison, as did Steve Bannon, for defending the Constitution, but there isn't a single person associated with the Russia hoax that's been held accountable. And the list is a long one. It goes Obama, Clinton, FBI Director Comey and other people worked there, like Page and Strzok. It involved the intelligence community and Brennan and Clapper. And the importance of the Durham Annex is that ties it all together and brings also in George Soros and his son Alex and the Open Society Foundation. And this is the most sophisticated political scandal that's ever been engineered. No one's been held accountable. Good for Attorney General Pam Bondi for pursuing that. And the most important thing I can tell you, if people are not held accountable for the Russia hoax, they will do it again. If people are not held accountable, they will do it again. And that's what I'm most concerned about. Okay?
Do you believe a secondary sanction still going in place tomorrow? What's the latest decision on that? We had heard yes, but then there was some confusion.
I'm going to check for you.
So it's TBD right now?
I've had to say what I've had to say. What I do, Caitlin, is I think you know this, I never get ahead of the boss. What I try to do is when news is done, then I'll come out and tell you what I think it means.
So not clear if the potential
I
that.
asked and answered.
And
okay, thanks for your
previous
patience.
answer, you would like countries that are buying refined oil
I didn't
products from
say
India
that.
to stop.
I didn't say that. You asked me a question whether we were looking at the chessboard. I can assure you we are. Okay, thanks for being civil today.
Thanks, Peter. We're civil every day.
Come on,
Okay,
man.
Peter Navarro, of course.
Okay, well, there's that. President Trump is supposed to be on stage, I would imagine, any minute now. He was supposed to be on stage 38 minutes ago, so we'll see. Either way, we're going to continue reading through. But if it takes too much longer, we'll move forward. And like I said, next up we got Adam Schiff under criminal investigation. Either way, reading through. What's up, Zero? Happy freedom to you. Zero, Toasty was funny last night. It was game night and they did tongue twisters. It's awesome. What's up here, Juicer? Happy freedom. What's up, Pumpkin? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Roy? If I didn't get you already, happy freedom to you. It's almost time. There, do the thing at some point. Why'd you just zoom all the way into the flower like that? I don't get it. I don't get it. What's up, Turbo? Happy freedom to you. Toy Rez, that lady is handsome. You talking about the CNN reporter? Whatever her name is, Caitlin or whatever. Waiting for the orange eagle to fly in. Caitlin had a really tight shirt on today. I think Caroline Leavitt makes her feel insecure. Ghostly, not being mean, why is she bald? Who? I missed it. I missed it. Oh, you talking about Toasty? I don't know. I have no idea. She just wanted to steal my haircut, I guess. Russell, where's Hair Juicer? He's on Rumble. I don't know why he won't come to the website. I have no idea. He won't tell me. Tony Rez, so much gold in that office now, but that Fort Knox audit already, yeah, they don't even talk about that anymore. They were making a big deal out of it, and even Elon was saying he can't wait to go check it out, and then they stopped talking about it. Rappy can't stand that CNN witch. Yeah, I don't like how smug and condescending she is. It drives me nuts. Talks like she could take a punch in the face when I know she can't. What's up, Not What It Seems? Happy Freedom. What's up, Tactical? Happy Freedom to you. What's up, Johnny? What's up, Sassy Patriot? What's up, Gen X? Happy Freedom. Oh, I appreciate you, Mana. Thank you. They're like, look at everybody. They got cameras on us. Quick. Look like we're talking about something important. Everybody hanging out in the Oval Office here. They're going to let Caitlyn in? At first, I thought that one guy was Alex Stein. They probably ain't going to let Alex Stein in the Oval Office. Zero. Toasty shaved her head because she developed a thyroid problem and her hair was thinning badly. She talked about it. No, thanks for letting me know, Zero. I wasn't sure. I see her talk about it a lot on X. But she never said why, at least since I've been following her. What's up, Kevin? Happy Freedom. Vinny C, just a bunch of useless distractions. Yeah. I don't think anything's going to come from the Russia stuff. I don't think anything's going to come from the Epstein stuff. I don't think Texas is going to do anything to the Democrats. Oh, and there's one more. Oh, and Adam Schiff. I don't think anything's going to happen to him either. Just like Letitia James. They were saying they were going to get her. What happened to that? They don't even talk about it. I don't know. They're always saying, I'm going to get you, I'm going to get you, and they never do. Kevin, what's for supper? You just reminded me I didn't buy anything for dinner. Gonna have to figure that out. There he is. There's the Orange Eagle. Hit that like button, you hooligans.
Thank you very much. You know this gentleman, one of the truly great legends of our time, my book. Before we begin, I'd like to say a few words about the shooting at Fort Stewart in Georgia. As you know, 5 people were seriously wounded and 2 very, very seriously hurt around 11 o'clock this morning. The shooter is now in custody, and the Army Criminal Investigation Division is on site to ensure that the perpetrator of this atrocity, which is exactly what it is, will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. The entire nation is praying for the victims and their families, and hopefully they'll fully recover, and we can put this chapter behind, but we're not going to forget what happened. We're going to take very good care of this person that did this horrible person. This afternoon, we're pleased to welcome to the White House one of the great and most esteemed business leaders and geniuses and innovators anywhere in the world, Apple CEO Tim Cook. It's an amazing job. Thanks as well to Secretary of the Treasury Scott Bessent and Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick for being here, wherever you may be. Oh, there you are. Hello, fellas. I missed you. Today, Apple is announcing that it will invest $600 billion, that's with a B, in the United States over the next 4 years. That's $100 billion more than they were originally going to invest. And this is the largest investment Apple has ever made in America and anywhere else. And it's just an honor to have you. As you know, Apple's been an investor in other countries a little bit. I won't say which ones, but a couple. And they're coming home. $600 billion. It's the biggest there is. The company is also unveiling its ambitious new American manufacturing program, which will bring factories and assembly lines across our country all roaring to life. Areas that were not doing so well are doing very well. We have about $17 trillion coming into the United States, which is more than ever before. That's never even come close. There's never been anything like it. Even you, that's even a lot of money for you. But we have commitments of more than $17 trillion. That was as of a couple of weeks ago. These investments will directly create more than 20,000 brand new American jobs and many thousands more at the Apple suppliers like Corning, Broadcom, Texas Instruments, and Samsung, who all deal in that world. As part of this historic commitment, Apple will massively increase spending on its domestic supply chain for the iPhone and will build the largest and most sophisticated smart glass production line in the world in Harrodsburg, Kentucky, which is a great, actually, I did very well there. I like it because I see I did very well there. I did very well in Kentucky, but it's a great place. You're going to be very happy. I thought maybe while we're up, I'll interrupt my own speech by you might show them a little bit about the product that you're going to be doing in Kentucky, Tim.
Absolutely. You mind if I step up?
Yes, please.
This box was made in the U.S., California, and this glass comes off the Corning line. It's engraved for President Trump. It's a unique unit of one. It was designed by a U.S. Marine Corps corporal, a former one, that works at Apple now.
That's good. He's done well.
Designed it for you. And the base comes from Utah and is 24 karat gold. And it sits, I'll take the liberty of setting it up.
Wow.
Well, let's see. There we go. Congratulations,
Thank you
Mr.
very much.
President.
It's
Thank
fantastic.
you so much.
The great people of Kentucky. You're going to find it a great place to do business, too. It's fantastic. Isn't that nice? We're doing these things now in the United States instead of other countries, faraway countries. This is a significant step toward the ultimate goal of ensuring that iPhones sold in the United States of America also are made in America. With the mass infusion of capital it's announcing today, Apple will also build a 250,000 square foot server manufacturing facility in Houston and invest billions of dollars to construct data centers across the country from North Carolina to Iowa to Oregon. That's big stuff. Apple will also open state-of-the-art manufacturing economy. It's going to be a manufacturing academy in Detroit, and that's a great place to do. Well, you know, big things are happening in Michigan and Detroit. They're coming in because of what we've done with the, I call it the Great Big Beautiful Bill. I added one word, great. But we have probably the biggest, most comprehensive piece of legislation ever passed. It's going to mean unbelievable numbers of jobs and no jobs on, think of this, whether it's tips or overtime or Social Security, no tax. So no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. And it's just a small bit of it. For Apple and others businesses, we're talking about the deductions and all of the things. And actually for people that go out and buy a car, first time it's ever been done, we talk about deductions for companies, but they're going to be able to deduct interest when they borrow money to buy a car if it's made in America. It has to be made in America. So it is amazing. And one of the reasons I think I can say that Apple's coming here is the legislation we just passed with this kind of investment. Apple will also open other facilities, rare earth magnets from Texas, and build, oh, I love that you're doing this. I love that. I love that. And build a brand new rare earth recycling line in Mountain Pass, California. I know that area. That's where they have a lot of truly rare earth. That's fantastic. I love that. And Apple will help develop and manufacture semiconductors and semiconductor equipment in Texas, Utah, Arizona, and New York. For years, Americans have watched as many of our leading tech giants built their factories overseas and exported American jobs abroad. But under the Trump administration, we're doing everything possible to make this the best place on earth to build a factory or grow businesses. I'm allowing them to build electric producing plants with their factory, because otherwise they'd have to hook into the grid. And I think it's one of the biggest things we've done, where you can build, Tim, your own electricity. You become your own electric manufacturer, and that goes along with the plant. So you become a utility. So congratulations, now you're in the utility. I hope they don't value your company based on utility, but that's okay. You're going to be making your own electricity, and as you probably know, for much of this and many of the things that we're doing, especially the AI, they would need actually double the electricity that the country now produces for everything. So it's massive electric, and they're going to be able to make their own, and they're getting very fast approvals. Lee Zeldin is doing a fantastic job, including with a 100% expensing on the one big, beautiful bill. In return, we're asking our businesses to invest in America, and they're coming in at levels that we've never seen before. So I don't know when it shows up, but there are a lot of factories and a lot of plants that are either under construction or soon will be starting construction. So can't tell you exactly when, but I want to be around in about a year from now and 2 years from now, because we're going to see an explosion, I think, like this country has never seen before. Never. Today's announcement is one of the largest commitments in what has become among the greatest investment booms in our nation's history, and we've got the hottest country anywhere in the world. You know, I told you the story that, and Tim, I'll tell you, but I went to the Middle East, and I was with Qatar, I was with UAE and the King of Saudi Arabia, all great leaders. And then I went to NATO and saw many great leaders, and we just finished that about 4 weeks ago. Everyone, virtually everyone, said, in effect, that we were a dead country 1 year ago. America, this was a dead country. We were dying, we were dead. And now you've got the hottest country anywhere in the world. This would have never happened except for certain people. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. NVIDIA is investing $500 billion to go along with Apple, $600 billion. $600 billion. Micron, great company, is investing $200 billion. IBM is investing more than $150 billion. SoftBank is investing substantially more than $100 billion. TSMC is investing $200 billion. Johnson & Johnson, $55 billion. Merck, Stellantis, and General Motors are putting many, many billions in. They haven't determined the final number. And many other countries are investing tens of billions of dollars that I'm not going to give you the whole list because the list is too long to read. But it's hundreds of billions and even trillions. I mean, it's trillions of dollars that's being invested right now. Last week, it was announced that our economy grew at 3% in the second quarter, and consumer confidence is surging. Blue-collar wages are rising rapidly. Costs are way down. You know, I listen to these horrendous frauds on CNN and various other fake news networks, and they say costs are up. No, costs are down. Gasoline is down. It's going to soon, I believe, be less than $2 a gallon. It's around $2.40 right now, many places other than California where they tax you out of business, but and a couple of others. But gasoline is way down. The price of groceries are down. How about eggs? When I first came here, my first week, the press hit me very hard on eggs. Eggs had quadrupled or something. I said, I didn't know about it. Give me a chance. I've just been here for 4 days. Well, eggs are down. Everything's down. Price is down. The only thing that's up is stock prices. That's really up, and that's through the roof. The stock market has been hitting all-time records, all-time highs. Last week it was announced that our economy grew at levels that we haven't seen in a long time, but the real levels of growth are going to be judged in a year from now when you start seeing some of these incredible plants, because we have car plants opening. They're coming in from Canada, from Mexico, and from all over the world. And they're coming in because they like the way the election worked out, but they also like the fact that they don't want to pay tariffs. And the tariffs, I think, we're taking in hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs. I won't be so specific other than to say, because we don't even know what the final number is. We just made a deal, as you know, with the EU where they're paying hundreds of billions of dollars. Japan paying hundreds of billions of dollars, and numerous other countries paying hundreds of billions of dollars, and we're not even completed there. And as you know, they found $25 billion 3 weeks ago, they said, we have a surplus of $25 billion. And they said, where did this come from? I said, check the tariffs. And they checked. They said, you're right, that's where it came from. And we've really just started. This is just in its infancy. So we have a great country. We have a country that is going to be very rich. It's a country that we're very proud of, but it's going to be very rich. And it's companies like Apple, they're coming home. They're all coming home. And we want them to come home. They have to come home. We're going to treat them really well. We're going to be putting a very large tariff on chips and semiconductors. But the good news for companies like Apple is if you're building in the United States or have committed to build, without question committed to build in the United States, there will be no charge. In other words, we're not going to be charging. So a lot of countries, a lot of companies are leaving various other places and they're coming to the United States. So in other words, we'll be putting a tariff on of approximately 100% on chips and semiconductors. But if you're building in the United States of America, there's no charge, even though you're building and you're not producing yet in terms of the big numbers of jobs and all of the things that you're building. If you're building, there will be no charge. So I just want everyone to know that. And I didn't even tell you that inside. We discussed the concept, but I didn't. So it's a big factor. So 100% tariff on all chips and semiconductors coming into the United States. But if you've made a commitment to build, or if you're in the process of building, as many are, there is no tariff. Okay? If for some reason you say you're building and you don't build, then we go back and we add it up, it accumulates, and we charge you at a later date. You have to pay, and that's a guarantee. So that's a big statement, and I think the chip companies are all coming back home. They're all coming back. You know, we started with Intel, and gradually Intel was just taken over the coals. They were taken to the cleaners, frankly, and moved to other places, in particular Taiwan. But I think a lot of those companies are coming back, and they're coming back very rapidly. So that's a big statement. 100% tariff. I want to thank you very much. Tim, would you like to say a few words about your company, please?
Good afternoon, everyone. Mr. President, thank you very much for having me here today. You've been a great advocate for American innovation and manufacturing, and I'm grateful for your leadership and your commitment. That's a commitment we share at Apple because American innovation is central to everything we do. Our products are designed here, we're hiring and growing here, and we support 450,000 jobs with thousands of suppliers and partners in all 50 states. Earlier this year, we made our largest ever spending commitment, $500 billion to the U.S. over the next 4 years. That's already yielding results. Earlier this year, we broke ground on a new factory in Houston to make advanced AI servers. And just last month, the very first test unit rolled off that factory's line, proudly made in America. President Trump shared some kind words about that work, but he also asked us to think about what more we could commit to doing. And Mr. President, we took that challenge very seriously. I'm glad to be here with you today, and I'm very proud to say that today we're committing an additional $100 billion to the United States, bringing our total U.S. investment to $600 billion over the next 4 years. As a part of this, we're launching Apple's American Manufacturing Program. It will spur even more production right here in America for critical components used in Apple products all around the world. And we're thrilled to announce that we've already signed new agreements with 10 companies across America to do just that. First, with today's announcements, I'm proud to say that Apple is leading the creation of an end-to-end silicon supply chain right here in America, from design to equipment to wafer production to fabrication to packaging. In Texas, we're working with manufacturers like Texas Instruments, Global Wafers America, and Applied Materials. We're working with Amcor in Arizona and Broadcom and Global Foundries in New York. Thanks to President Trump's vision And with his help in his first term, we also led the way to bring TSMC to Arizona by committing to be their first and largest customer. Today, they're producing tens of millions of chips for Apple using one of the most advanced process technologies in America today. We're going to keep working with our suppliers to move even more of this incredibly advanced work to America. And this year alone, American manufacturers are on track to make 19 billion chips for Apple in 24 factories across 12 different states. Second, we're committed to buying American-made advanced rare earth magnets developed by MP Materials, which will become part of Apple's devices shipped around the world. MP is the only fully integrated rare earth producer in the United States, and with this partnership, they'll be significantly expanding their flagship facility in Fort Worth, Texas. We're also thrilled to work together on a cutting-edge rare earth recycling line in Mountain Pass, California. And third, in Kentucky, we've worked with our partners at Corning to build the world's largest and most advanced smartphone glass production line. And I'm pleased to announce that very soon, this is for the first time ever, every single new iPhone and every single new Apple Watch sold anywhere in the world will contain cover glass made in Kentucky. In addition to the American manufacturing program, we're also significantly growing our investments in AI, including expanding data center capacity in North Carolina, in Nevada, in Iowa, in Arizona, and Oregon. So we're going to keep making investments right here in America. We're going to keep hiring in America. And we're going to keep building technologies at the heart of our products right here in America. Because we're a proud American company and we believe deeply in the promise of this great nation. Thank you all, and thank you, President Trump, for putting American innovation and American jobs front and center. Thank you, sir.
Great honor.
Thank you.
Very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. What a job he's done. What a job. Incredible. I want to thank you very much, and thank you, JD, for helping along. Good job. Really good job. Any questions, please?
Mr. President,
yes.
You promised on the campaign trail to bring forth a manufacturing renaissance. You just mentioned $17 trillion in your first 7 months or so.
Right.
Can you talk about how an investment like this, all the other ones that you laid out, will positively impact the millions of Americans that trusted you with their vote?
Thank you very much. It changes our country. I mean, our country is a very different country than it was 6 months ago. And people like Tim are coming. We had Micron in yesterday. We had all of the big, great companies that you read about, you don't know about, but you read about. Many of them were making products outside of our country. Foolishly, we lost them. If we had the right person sitting in that seat, that would have never happened 20 and 30 years ago. When you look at the chip business, it would have never left our shores. We had 100% of chips originally, and then we slowly got taken down to nothing. We have the biggest chip companies, to both of them, but we have the biggest in the world coming in. They're going to Arizona and beyond. And we're going to have, in a short period of time, we'll be up to almost 50% of the chips from starting in nothing. And that's something. But we have the greatest companies in the world coming into our country, and that means jobs, and it means wealth, and wealth means security for our people. Okay? Brian?
Yes, sir. Congratulations on this investment, President Trump.
Thank you.
With a great example of putting America first. What does the labor force look like to fill these jobs that you have? Do we have enough skilled American workers to fill these?
Well, we do have a lot of workers, and we have a lot of workers that hadn't been looking for work because they were disincentivized, frankly. And people like Tim have tremendous schools and training centers that they build along with a lot of their big plants where they train people on whether it's glass, like in Kentucky, or computers, or whatever they might be doing. It's a complex world, and they train people, and they do a great job. So it's a whole new workforce. Now, we have a lot of them in energy because, you know, they've always liked energy. As you know, coal has opened up and opened up big. We brought it back and brought it back in a very large way. You know, China's right now building 58 coal-fired plants, 58 big ones. And here we were saying we don't take coal. We have more coal than anybody else in the world. We have more oil and gas than anybody else in the world. But we have tremendous energy jobs, and the energy, as you know, we're booming with energy. And that's why the gasoline prices are down. Costs are down. I just hope when they watch these shows, I watch this, I won't use names because I just make them better known, that nobody knows who they are. But I watch this group of people on CNN and MSDNC too, the same thing, where they say, well, costs have gone up. Costs haven't gone up, they've gone down. I'm telling you, the thing that's gone up is stock prices, and success of our country. Our country is really, really doing well, successful. Yes, ma'am?
Yes, Mr. President, have Putin and Zelensky agreed to a summit yet? And where and when would that be?
Well, there's a very good prospect that they will. And we haven't determined where, but we had some very good talks with President Putin today. And there's a very good chance that we could be ending the end of that road. That road was long and continues to be long, but there's a good chance that there will be a meeting very soon.
How close do you think you are to a deal?
Excuse me?
How close do you think you are to some kind of deal?
Well, I don't want to say. I've been disappointed before with this one. You know, we've solved 5 wars, plus add to that Iran, where we wiped out their nuclear capacity for weapons. They would have had a weapon within 2 months, maybe less, and that was totally obliterated. It turned out it was a total obliteration, and the pilots and the people that did that job are really, we have the greatest armed forces in the world, but that was really something. In fact, there's a model of the plane right there. So, you got to bring that up, Susie. We have to see that. Look at this. This was just given to me. You know, we ordered brand new B-2 bombers. This is a plane that over a period of 36 hours of constant flying. Look at this. So this is the brand new one they just ordered. Similar, but actually quite different. It's new and enhanced. It's an amazing machine. It went 36 hours. We had 52 tankers up in the air loading up our planes because this was surrounded by F-22s and F-35s, and it was flawless, Tim. Even you would say it was flawless. And every one of those bombs hit their target. And then we had Tomahawks shot in from a submarine 300 miles away, and they hit every single Tomahawk hit its target. It was amazing. And that was a big threat. That was a nuclear threat. And here's the new one that we just ordered, a large number of them. I'll put it up.
Mr. President, what was the breakthrough today? Did Vladimir Putin make some kind of concession that he hasn't been willing to make before?
I don't call it a breakthrough. I mean, we've been working on this a long time. There are thousands of young people dying, mostly soldiers, but also, you know, missiles being hit into Kiev and other places. But in terms of soldiers, I think Russia's lost over 20,000 since the beginning of the year. 20,000. And I guess the estimate for Ukraine is about 9,000. It's a terrible situation. We want to get it stopped. You know, we don't have American soldiers there, but I feel I have an obligation to get it stopped. This was not my war. This war would have never started, not even a chance. And it didn't start for 4 years. It went 4 years and it didn't start. But this is Biden's war. This was on his watch. And, you know, it's funny. We had no land was taken from Trump. It was taken from Bush. It was taken from Biden. The whole thing they would take from Biden if it weren't for us. But it was and it was taken by Obama. Take a look at what was taken with all of the land that was taken. Nothing was taken by Russia from us. Not 1 ounce of land was taken. I'm here to get the thing over with. It would have never started if I were president, and we're here to get it stopped and get the death stopped. Yeah, please.
President, in the past, you said you would know if Putin was tackling you wrong. What gives you any confidence that he is or isn't doing that this time around?
Can't answer the question yet. I'll tell you in a matter of weeks, maybe less. But we've made a lot of progress. And as you know, we put a 50% tariff on India on oil. They're the second largest. They're very close to China in terms of the purchase of oil from Russia. But so I don't know if that had anything to do with it. But we've had very productive talks today. Yes, ma'am.
President Trump, on federalizing D.C., are you considering taking over the D.C. police? Is that an option on the table?
We're considering it, yeah, because the crime is ridiculous. I could show you a chart comparing D.C. to other locations, and you're not going to want to see what it looks like. It was just up on television, actually. They were showing it. Now, we want to have a great, safe capital, and we're going to have it. And that includes cleanliness and it includes other things. We have a capital that's very unsafe. You know, we just almost lost a young man, beautiful, handsome guy that got the hell knocked out of him the night before last. And I'm going to call him now. We wanted to give him a little recovery time. We just put a call into him. They're calling back in a little while, but he went through a bad situation, to put it mildly, and there's too much of it. We're gonna do something about it. So whether you call it federalized or what, and that also includes the graffiti that you see, the papers all over the place, the roads that are in bad shape, the medians that are falling down, the median in between roads that's falling down. We're going to beautify the city. We're going to make it beautiful. And what a shame. The rate of crime, the rate of muggings, killings, and everything else, we're not going to let it. And that includes bringing in the National Guard, maybe very quickly, too.
And do you want Congress to look at overturning the D.C. Home Rule Act?
We're going to look at that. In fact, the lawyers are already studying it. We have to run D.C. This has to be the best-run place in the country, not the worst-run place in the country. And it has so much potential. And we're going to take care of it. You're going to be safe. You're going to be safe walking down streets. You're not going to get mugged.
Mr. President, if you do reach a deal with Ukraine and Russia, would you drop the additional tariffs on India?
Well, we'll determine that later. But right now they're paying a 50% tariff. Okay.
Yeah, please. One for Mr. Cook as well.
Yeah, please. Sure.
The president wants a made in the USA iPhone. What are the chances that you can actually make that happen?
Well, if you look at the bulk of it, we're doing a lot of the semiconductors here. We're doing the glass here. We're doing the Face ID module here. So there's a ton of it. And we're doing these for products sold elsewhere in the world. And so there's a lot of content in there from the United States.
But what about the whole thing?
We're very proud of it.
Can you make the whole thing
here? Just the final assembly that you're focused on. And that will be elsewhere for a while.
He makes many of the components here, and we've been talking about it, and the whole thing is set up at other places, and it's been there for a long time. So in terms of cost and all, but I think we may incentivize him enough that one day he'll be bringing that. But he brings most of the stuff. Look, he's not making this kind of an investment anywhere in the world, not even close. He's coming back. I mean, Apple's coming back to America. Thank you.
Mr. President, Indian officials have said that there are other countries that are buying Russian oil.
It's okay.
Like China, for instance,
It's
buys
okay.
more.
Yeah.
Why are you singling India out for these additional sanctions?
It's only been 8 hours. So let's see what happens over the next.
Sanctions
you're going to see a lot more.
So this is a taste of
You're going to see a lot more. You're going to see so much secondary sanctions. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, you were the driving force behind Operation Warp Speed, these mRNA vaccines that are the gold standard.
Right.
Now your health secretary is pulling back all the funding for research. He's saying that the risks outweigh the benefits, which puts him at odds with
Research
the
on
entire
what?
medical community and with you. What is going on?
Research on what?
Into mRNA vaccines.
Well, we're going to look at that. We're talking about it, and they're doing a very good job. And, you know, that is a pass. Operation Warp Speed was, whether you're Republican or Democrat, considered one of the most incredible things ever done in this country. The efficiency, the way it was done, the distribution, everything about it has been amazing. But, you know, that was now a long time ago, and we're on to other things. But we are speaking about it. We have meetings about it tomorrow at 12 o'clock, and we'll determine. We're looking for other answers to other problems, to other sicknesses and diseases, and I think we're doing really well. Yes, ma'am, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. You said many times that you want to stop wars in the Middle East.
Now Prime Minister Netanyahu is contemplating reoccupying Gaza entirely. Is he defying you, sir, or are you giving him a green light?
Well, we have stopped wars in the Middle East by stopping Iran from having a nuclear weapon, and they're they can say they're going to start all over again, but that's a very dangerous thing for them to do, because we'll be back. As soon as they start, we'll be back. And I think they understand that. They're just words. But no, we've stopped a lot of wars in the Middle East. If you think about what we did with Iran, Iran was the perpetrator of hate, a very evil place, and I think it's going to be a lot different in the coming years.
On the India penalties, do you have any similar plans to enact more tariffs on China as it relates to their purchases?
Could happen. Depends on how we do. Could happen.
I've got an entertainment-based question for you. A few weeks ago, Stephen Colbert announced that he was leaving his show. Howard Stern announced that him and Sirius XM Radio are parting ways. Do you think the hate Trump business model that's been in the entertainment business is going out of business because it's not popular with the American people?
Well, it hasn't worked, and it hasn't worked really for a long time, and I would say pretty much from the beginning. Colbert has no talent. I mean, I could take anybody here. I could go outside in the beautiful streets and pick up a couple of people that do just as well or better. They get higher ratings than he did. He's got no talent. Fallon has no talent. Kimmel has no talent. They're next. They're going to be going. I hear they're going to be going. I don't know, but I would imagine because they get, Colbert has better ratings than Kimmel or Fallon. You know that. Howard Stern, it's a name I haven't heard. I used to do a show, used to have fun, but I haven't heard that name in a long time. What happened? He got terminated?
Yeah, they're going to separate ways because I think what they're offering salary-wise is real low than what he's getting.
You know when he went down?
Whenever you want.
You know when he went down? No, before. When he endorsed Hillary Clinton, he lost his audience. People said, give me a break. He went down when he endorsed Hillary Clinton.
Prostitute.
Mr. President, have you talked to Governor Cuomo? Started interviewing Fed candidates yet?
Yeah, we've started the interviewing process. Scott and I and Howard, a lot of people, JD, we have some great candidates. It's probably down to 3. He doesn't want the job. He said, do you like this job better?
Yes, sir.
I mean, he was a candidate, but I don't think he'll take it. I really don't think he'd take it, actually.
Are there any candidates from Wall Street, Mr. President?
Yeah, essentially we're all from Wall Street, aren't we? You know, when you get right down to it, the term Wall Street. Yeah, please.
Yep, you made your tax cuts permanent. You mentioned that the tariffs are bringing in a ton of external revenue. You've opened up markets, the EU, Japan, South Korea, many others, to American goods like we've never seen before. How much growth can we expect in the economy now that this model of yours is sort of beginning to really take off?
Well, I think the growth is going to be unprecedented. I think we're going to have growth that's unbelievable. Now, remember, we're building and just starting to build a lot of these incredible plants. We talked about the electric facilities that we're building, the generating plants, electric generating plants. Are massive, and they're going to be great. And they're going to sell excess electricity into our grid. So we're going to be having much more electricity than we ever had. And those plants are going to be taken care of individually. I know Tim is building one in one of his big factories, but especially for AI because it needs so much electricity. So I appreciate the question very much. I think the growth is going to be unprecedented.
Did you have a phone call with Andrew Cuomo? Did you speak to Andrew Cuomo?
I haven't. No, I haven't.
Mr. President, have you been briefed on what Ghislaine Maxwell told Todd Blanche?
No, I haven't.
So you don't know whether
it
came up in the
I know Todd is a
conversation or
very
not?
respected person all over the country, all over the world legally, so I don't know.
Mr. President.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Will the new Fed governor be temporary?
We're probably going to go with a temp and then a permanent, I think.
Are the two
So the temp is going to be named, I'd say, over the next 2-3 days, and then we're going to go permanent.
Are the two Kevins the leading contenders for the permanent spot for the chair?
Well, the two Kevins? The two Kevins are absolutely, yeah. They're both very good.
Mr. President.
The two Kevins, very good.
Mr. President, is Vice President Vance hosting a gathering this evening to talk about how to respond to the Epstein situation?
Is he working on what?
Is he hosting some kind of gathering of top advisors this evening to talk about how to respond to the Epstein situation?
I don't know. I could ask you that question. I don't know of it, but I think here's the man right here.
I saw it reported today, and it's completely fake news. We're not meeting to talk about the Epstein situation, and I think the reporter who reported it needs to get better sources.
Look, the whole thing is a hoax. It's put out by the Democrats because we've had the most successful 6 months in the history of our country, and that's just a way of trying to divert attention to something that's total bullshit. Okay? Yeah, please.
A new Gallup poll says that Elon Musk is the most unpopular public figure in the country right now. I'm wondering, do you miss having him around the White House, or is that poll accurate?
I don't know if the poll's accurate. I think he's a good person. I think he had a bad moment, really bad moment, but he's a good person. I believe that.
President Trump, are you keeping that 10 to 12 day deadline?
China is facing potential secondary sanctions for
Yeah.
Russian oil. Them having that tariff or sanction rather, or not, hinges on what going forward?
It may happen. I mean, I don't know. I can't tell you yet, but we did it with India. We're doing it probably with a couple of others. One of them could be China. Yes.
Are you keeping that 10 to 12 day deadline that you had given Russia after today's talks?
Yeah, we're pretty much getting close to it right now, but we're having very serious talks right now about getting out of Ukraine, getting it settled, getting it ended. Should have never started, would have never started. If I were president, it would have never started. I want to thank Tim Cook. He's a great, great man, a visionary, a businessman, just about every quality he can have other than athleticism. I don't know about that. I'm looking at him. I'm not 100% sure about you. You're a good athlete. I'll bet you're pretty good. I think he's good at everything, but I want to thank you very much, Tim.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, guys. Right here. Cut it out. Thank you, guys. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Fred. Thank you, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Right behind you. Thanks, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Fred.
Come on over here.
And that guy that you saw right there.
All right. Well, that is President Trump. That is the only live we have scheduled out of the White House today. Getting back into the news, like I said, next up, Adam Schiff under criminal investigation. It's coming up next, but first I want to remind you, hooligans, if you'd like to participate in Free Speech Saturday, make sure you post all of your memes over on Discord or on jeffmaclive.com. Just hop in the group chats on either platform. You'll see the tabs labeled memes. Drop what you got and we'll shout you out as we're making Saturdays more fun. Let's get this pulled up. Come on now, do the thing. All right, once again, this is Adam Schiff under criminal investigation. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already, and let's get into this.
And tonight, an update on an Ingram Angle exclusive, a Trump administration source telling the Angle that a criminal investigation of Adam Schiff is underway, conducted by U.S. Attorney's Office in Maryland for possible charges involving mortgage fraud. Now, this follows the story we broke last month when the Federal Housing Finance Agency sent a criminal referral to the DOJ alleging that Schiff, in multiple instances, falsified bank documents and property records to acquire more favorable loan terms. In a 2011 affidavit signed by the then California congressman, he certified that a property in Montgomery County, Maryland, is his primary residence. He also owns a condo in Burbank, California, which he's also claimed is his primary residence, and said so in 2023 during his campaign for Senate.
I think just about every member of Congress has a residence in their state and a residence back in D.C. since we're in session much of the week. And people make a family decision where they're going to have their kids. But our principal residence, our primary residence is in California. It always has been and always will be.
Ruh-roh. Well, Senator Schiff has not responded to us about these allegations, but we were able to find a statement that his campaign spokesperson gave to CNN back in 2023. She said that the Burbank condo is his primary residence, but Adams' California and Maryland addresses have been listed as primary residences for loan purposes because they're both occupied throughout the year and to distinguish them from a vacation property. Well, the law does not work that way, let me just say that, but nice try. Look, it's anyone's guess what happens next, but we're going to stay on this story. But, of course, as Schiff liked to say during Russiagate, just talking about that, no one is above the law.
Hey, Sean Hannity.
Okay. Quick story there on Adam Schiff. Unfortunately, I still feel like it's going to be a bunch of nothing, just kind of like half everything else that's going on. Saying he falsified bank documents and property records in order to get better loan terms. So they're going to be investigating, but what's it going to turn into? They were saying the same thing about Letitia James, and then they got real quiet about it. Now they don't even talk about it. So I don't know. You know, if they decide to hold these people accountable, of course we're going to cover it. But until then, I'm just not getting my hopes up. Not until we see somebody go to jail. Next up, Not American. This is why they're going to be investigating into this, says Johnson, which is a pretty shit title. They're talking about how President Trump's about to sign an executive order in order to stop debanking. Now, we've covered a couple stories talking about debanking. It's still not really a general topic. There's a lot of people who still do not understand what debanking is. But basically, your bank can decide to close your account for no reason and keep your money in it and just claim that you've broke their service guidelines and stuff like that, when really they just don't want to support you because they found out you're a conservative or you voted for Trump or whatever, and they just won't bank with you anymore. We saw a lot of that when we were covering the Canadian convoy. There was a lot of people who were donating to the cause, and then the banks were closing their account and stuff like that, confiscating their money and all of that. So like I said, next up, they're going to be talking about President Trump potentially signing an executive order that's going to stop the debanking from happening. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see if you hooligans think Adam Schiff's actually going to go to jail. Zero, it's always good to hear directly from President Trump. I agree. They're my favorite press briefings to cover. I like Caroline Leavitt, but she's a lot of times giving us secondhand information. When President Trump's being interviewed, we're hearing it right from the Orange Eagle's mouth. Matt Rogers, half the world's data goes through my area. These buildings are gigantic. I've never seen a data center before. I hear a lot about it, but I don't know if there's any around me or not. You would kind of think so with all the open land around me, but I don't know. I never hear about it. Ramsey, happy freedom to everyone that liked the stream. The rest of you can suck it. I don't know. You gotta hit the like button. Hooligans, you guys gotta do the thing. Not because I need to feel special about myself, but it actually tells the algorithm to bring more hooligans into the chat. So definitely hit that thumbs up button. Shroomish won't spend one day in jail. Yeah, I just don't think so. I don't think so. It's a nice thought. If he was a regular person, oh yeah, they'd already arrested him. Obama, the Democrats that fled Texas, I mean, just, you know, on and on and on. If any of these people were just regular people, they'd already be in jail. What's up, Bill Clay? Happy freedom to you. Cricket kiss. The pedo is hung like Crayola. I've never heard that before. That is something else. Ghostly, you still testing out the Rumblebot? At least the Rumblebot stands against pedos. You know, that's a good start. Ramsey, FBI arrested a soldier trying to sell defense secrets. Interesting. Yeah, that reminds me of I don't know if he was Coast Guard or what it was, but he was posting classified information in his Discord server, and he got arrested. That's what I mean. Anybody less than an elected official, they get arrested right on the spot for screwing up. But elected officials, they always find a way out. Willie fix it. She get her lips inflated? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. I wish women would stop injecting in their faces. I feel bad for them. I wish they would stop doing that. I mean, I've never woke up and was like, you know, I'm so ugly that I think I should put needles in my face. I don't think I'll ever feel that ugly. I don't know. I feel really bad for women. Russell, debanking is wrong. Yeah, it's a form of discrimination, and that's part of what we're going to be talking about coming up. Zero, it should be illegal for them to keep your money. You actually give them your money when you put money in the bank. When you sign up for a bank account, that's the paperwork that you're signing. You're saying that they basically own your money. That's why they can move it around and make interest off of it, or take your doll hairs and loan them to somebody else and, you know, make money off of that and not owe you any money, because technically that's your money, right? So like, say they needed $100 because they need to loan money out, you give them $100, they take that $100 and they loan it out to somebody else with an interest rate, they get back $130. They don't give you anything off of that $30 they made profit, because it's their money, because that's how it is when you put money in the bank. It's kind of like you got your name on it, but it ain't really yours anymore. So if they can find a reason to close your account, a lot of times they'll keep it. One time I didn't mess with my bank account for like a year, and they made it dormant. And they said I had like 30 days to do a transaction, or else they were going to close the account and keep the $500 that was in it, just because I didn't do enough transactions in a year. And so dealing with banks is always really shady, but they got us working on the internet, and you can't just stick cash into your computer. You got to use credit cards and shit, and it's all done by design. That's why they want us living on the internet. We don't have a bill of rights for the internet, so they can abuse us and mistreat us and stuff. Like, you know, there's no free speech on the internet and stuff. They also want us doing transactions on the internet. That way they can see what we're spending money on, how we spend money, how much we spend, and stuff like that. We're trackable on the internet. It's the way the world's moving. Tori Wayne, any facial reconstruction made with an injection is never going to be good. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't want somebody to stick needles in my face. I know I'm not that pretty, but I can't imagine sticking needles in this face is going to somehow make me look better. I don't know. What's up, Neon Love Machine? Happy freedom to you. Did you see we're live on Odyssey again? There's nobody over there. It's just me sitting by myself. Neon Love Machine, they can loan 90% of your money. Yeah. And they don't protect all of it. Like, if you made $1 million here, they probably wouldn't even let you put it in one bank account. And even if they did, they would only protect, like, you know, $25,000 or something like that. So if somebody ripped you off, you'd get your $25K back and the rest of your money would just be gone. Banks are tricky. Goth, inflatables make women plastic looking. Yeah. Especially over there on the left coast. Over there, it's like really regular for them to put injections in their face and their lips and fake tits and fake asses and all this stuff, and they look like sex dolls, but like in a bad way. What's up, Turbo? Happy freedom to you. Willie Fix It, FDIC insurance is capped. Yeah. Kevin, when we were kids, we walked on the military testing one of the big white drones they used in Iraq. They flipped out and chased us off. We got grounded for that one. Let's see, the Army wasn't happy. Yeah, I believe it, Kevin. I believe it. Vinny C, keep it under a mattress. That's right. Yep. When I fill out my paperwork to live here in this apartment, they ask me if I have cash under my mattress. It literally asks that in the like 65 question questionnaire I got to fill out every year. Shroomish, Kanye got debanked. I believe it. I think Andrew Tate did too. There's a couple YouTubers that have gotten debanked before. What's up, 1776? Happy freedom to you. Turbo, Jeff got Botox to make the bags under his eyes bigger. It makes him look like he works harder. Yep. When I worked in the factory, I used to just go throw my boots in the dirt to make it look like I work really hard. Yep. Fake it till you make it. Boozy Flame Klaus is taking a long lunch break. I know, he's already been wrote up twice. He's trying to get fired. He's my best employee, though. Snooks, you're very pretty. Well, thank you, Snooks. Zero, My Pillow, Mike Lindell got debanked. Yeah, I forgot about that. Totally care. I already told my kids to look everywhere for money stashes when I die. It's the best way to do it. Dealing with banks sucks. They suck. What's up, Post Malone? Happy freedom to you. You just used your Prime sub over on Twitch? Are you Kills? Well, I really appreciate it, Post Malone. Thank you so much, Kills, for joining the membership program over on Twitch. And welcome to the family. You're officially a hooligan. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You hooligans are the best. What's up, Harley Davidson? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Rich? Happy freedom to you. Free as it can be. I will never understand how banks can steal your money because of who you support. I mean, it's a form of discrimination. What I don't understand is if it's something you can't prove or why they've been able to do it. I think we'll know more once they try to do this executive order. It's supposed to happen sometime this week, they're saying, but I mean, we're getting down to it. Tomorrow's Thursday. Nick, big fan of fake it till you make it. I mean, sometimes that's all you got. What's up, Damon Walker? Happy freedom to you. Snooks, you made it over to Odyssey. Very nice. All right, hooligans, we're going to move forward here. Like I said, this is titled Not American. That's why they're going to be investigating into this. Obviously talking about debanking, since that's what we've been talking about for the last 5 minutes or so. Now, they did shit on that title, but it's okay. We're going to get some information on this, and it'll be really interesting once they actually start cracking down on these banks. Hit that like button if you haven't already, and let's get into this.
The Trump administration reportedly preparing an executive order now penalizing major banks and possibly crypto companies for discrimination over politics or dropping conservative customers. The Wall Street Journal reviewing a draft of the order, which could be signed this week. It writes this, quote, directs bank regulators to investigate whether any financial institutions may have violated the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, antitrust laws, or consumer financial protection laws. Violators could be subject to monetary penalties, consent decrees, or other disciplinary measures. President Trump calling out J.P. Morgan Chase and Bank of America, saying that both refused to accept more than $1 billion of his deposits. Both banks are denying the claims. I've personally spoken to lawmakers and members of the president's family over this, and they discussed their personal debanking experiences with me. Here's First Lady Melania Trump. Your bank canceling your account, you know, this pushback from so many areas of your life that you never saw before, but suddenly the powers that be wanted to cancel you. What happened and how did that feel?
It happened already in the White House, and soon he announced for politics, but later on, more when we left the White House, when I established my own business. As you said, the bank suddenly informed me they will not be able to do business with me anymore. Also, I had very prominent email distribution service provider just rapidly terminated my agreement. So suddenly, as well as the university, I was all agreed that they will accept my donations for the foster students, and because of the board directors, they called back, they found out that it was me, they didn't, they said we cannot go on. And it's very, very sad, because who suffered? They were children from foster community. They didn't have a scholarship that somebody will provide for them. They didn't want to do business with me because of political affiliation, my political beliefs.
I also spoke with the president's son, Eric Trump, about this. Here's what he said.
Maria, I never thought I'd fall into the world of crypto until every bank started canceling us for absolutely no reason whatsoever other than the fact that my father was in politics, right? I mean, we got canceled by absolutely everybody. They came after us viciously.
Which banks canceled you? What happened?
Oh, God, everybody. Capital One being the largest. I've sued them recently. Chase canceled us.
Okay, so it was Capital One, because I know that Capital One also canceled Melania Trump, I understand as well. So it was Capital One.
Yeah.
Who else?
Maria, you can't believe when you get those calls, right? And they came after us viciously because my father was in the White House and they wanted to punish us, right? The legal lawfare from the Biden administration was unbelievable. That doesn't mean that banks should cancel people because of political views. That's exactly what Capital One did. Chase did the same thing. Bank of America did the same thing. TD did the same thing. First Republic did the same thing to us. Maria, you wouldn't believe the stories that I heard as I traveled around the country on the campaign trail. The weaponization is real. And it has to stop. You can't have banks pick who they're going to lend to, who they're going to service in the United States of America based on their political affiliation. Yep. We were targeted, and we're going to hold those banks accountable.
JP Morgan telling Fox Business, quote, "We don't close accounts for political reasons, and we agree with the president that regulatory change is desperately needed. We commend the White House for addressing this issue and look forward to working with them to get this right." In January, Bank of America wrote this: "We serve more than 70 million clients and we welcome conservatives. We are required to follow extensive government rules and regulations that sometimes result in decisions to exit client relationships. We never close accounts for political reasons and do not have a political litmus test." A Capital One spokesperson said this: "Capital One has not and does not close customer accounts for political reasons." Now, we've reached out to First Republic and TD Bank as well. We've not heard back. Adam, I could only speculate about how much pressure these banks were under by federal regulators under the Biden administration and Democrats.
Okay, so they just sit there and discuss everything she had just listed there. All right. Next up, we got Borders Czar Tom Homan details new Speedway Slammer detention center. It's going to be in Indiana. It's their version of Alligator Alcatraz. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about this debanking situation. Like I said, President Trump is supposed to be signing a new executive order coming this week that's going to stop debanking because it's discriminatory. Let me see. They will not be able to discriminate against you over politics. They mentioned Chase Bank and Capital One. Now, when they read the statements by these banks, they said that Chase Bank and Capital One both were denying the accusations. Chase Bank was saying that they agree with President Trump, saying regulatory change is needed. And then also Melania Trump was talking about how she had a mass emailing service that she was banned from. We were also banned in the same kind of way when we were having issues with YouTube and all these platforms giving late notifications. I tried to create an email list using MailChimp, and when I went to send the very first notification out that we were going live, we were immediately banned from MailChimp. I am never allowed ever again to attempt to use their service because they don't agree with my content. That's what they told me in the email, telling me that we were banned from using their service. So obviously this is a problem. It's not going to change anything with email services, but at least banks, after the executive order is signed, will no longer be able to discriminate against us because of politics. So it's definitely a move in the right direction. Like I said, next up we got Tom Homan. He's talking about the Speedway Slammer. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about this debanking situation. So next, let me see. Did I already? Yeah, I did. Kirk Allen, what do you mean that you can't see the emojis? Are you seeing emojis with locks? Because if you're seeing emojis with locks, it's because you have to be an official hooligan on Rumble in order to see the custom emojis. If you're not an official hooligan, then they just show up as locks. So maybe that's what you're talking about. Zero Speedway Slammer is actually in a place named Bunker Hill, about 1.5 hours from Speedway. Interesting. I didn't know. Somebody asked Tom Homan during this video it's coming up about the naming of it, and all he said is he's not involved with how these places are named. I didn't realize it was that significant, though. Russell, you're with Capital One? Yeah, I'm connected to Capital One. I haven't had any problems with them. Zero, so you're not the only one who has trouble reading out loud. Yeah, she got stuck. She got stuck for a moment there. What's up, Dusto? Happy Freedom. What's up, Metal Mouth? Happy Freedom to you. Thanks so much, Bright Gaming, for rating us over on Rumble. You're a badass. Thank you so much, Bright Gaming. I'm going to pull up your channel here and post it in chat. Everybody needs to go follow Bright Gaming. Pin. Thank you so much, Bright Gaming. I appreciate you. Thank you for the raid. What's up, Cyberpunk? Happy Freedom to you. Metamouth, did Rumble customer service ever get a hold of you? You said you wrote them an email, right? Ghostly, how many average people got debanked? They never talk about the people too poor to do anything about it. Yeah, Ghostly, they pretty much are always referencing celebrities and elected officials and stuff like that. I'm sure there is regular people that have been debanked. Like I said, we saw it a lot with the Canadian convoy. What's up, Butterfly? Happy Freedom to you. Yeah, happy freedom to all you raiders entering the chat. Metamouth, what is MailChimp? MailChimp is a mass email service. So like if you have a Gmail or something like that and you try to send an email to 100 people at once, it'll prevent you from doing that. It will not allow you to do that. So you have to pay for a service to do mass emailing, which is a pain in the ass because then you got to follow their community guidelines and all kinds of other stupid stuff. Plus you're paying money to use email when most emails are free. So it's kind of an annoying thing, but that's why they limit access for us to be connected to each other. It's because they want you to pay for it. Bill Clay, convert all money into bottle caps like Fallout. Then they'll have to worry about counterfeit caps just like in Fallout. What's up, Freed the Texan? Happy Freedom to you. Goth, I still remember when the banks first allowed illegals to open accounts. See, and I don't remember covering any stories about that, but that's pretty interesting that illegals can have bank accounts. Ghostly, let them answer. I hate when they interrupt. Yeah, I hate that too, when they're interviewing people and then they're constantly talking over the people that they're interviewing. Thank you, Butterfly, for reposting the live over on Rumble. You're a badass. Thank you. Gen X, fuck MailChimp, not going to use their services ever. Yeah, thankfully there is other companies that provide those services. We found a way around it. Pretty much having everybody join Discord was an easy way for us to get a hold of everybody. And now we got the website, so we don't even have to use mass emailing services and all of that. I try to get away from community guidelines as much as we possibly can, because whenever it's convenient for them, they just use their community guidelines against us and interfere with what we're doing. Happy freedom to you, Jay. If they debank Trump, they shouldn't be eligible for any future bailouts. Let them fail. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Nicholas, Bank of America is Soros. See, that doesn't really surprise me. I haven't done any banking with Bank of America. I think the closest one to me is like 3 hours away. But it doesn't surprise me because they're a huge bank. Chase and Bank of America and them, they're big banks. Goth, you're not a they them, are you? Goth says, yikes, I said we became goth, but there's only one of me. Now if you're a they them. What's up, Hat the Cat? Happy freedom to you. Free the Texan they them energy. No, I don't think they're a they them. It's funny though. Either way, we're gonna move forward here. Like I said, borders are Tom Homan details new Speedway Slammer detention center in Indiana. Get this pulled up. He's doing a parking lot presser on his own over here. Hit the like button if you haven't already, and let's get into this.
Why Indiana for this latest detention center?
Why not? I mean, bottom line is the state should play a role in this administration's efforts to remove public safety threats from this nation as quick as possible, illegal alien public safety threats, national security threats. States are playing a role. I'm happy. I'm happy for their participation and coordination and efforts.
Will you start using the name Speedway Slammer after the IndyCar rejected it? Can you say a word about reassigning
Look,
convenience?
I don't name the facilities, but I'll say this: the work of ICE, the men and women of ICE are trying to do their job with integrity and honor. I don't want these names to detract from that. So, not naming the facilities, but I wasn't involved in that. But I want people to focus on the hard work and the dangerous work the men and women of ICE are doing, and they're doing the integrity of honor. And I want us to stick to that. And so I don't want the names taking over the great work they're doing. This is serious work and it's dangerous work, so I want to stick with that.
What are the cost estimates for this detention center in Indiana? Who came up with the name? And also, how much is this going to look like out here on the tracks?
I don't know who came up with the name, and I don't know the details, but I'll say this. Again, 1,000 beds come in very handy. And I'm glad the states are stepping up to help us do this. Every bed we bring on, we fill pretty quickly. I mean, we don't have less than several hundred beds this morning. We'll fill them by tomorrow morning. So the more beds we bring on, and look, I'll say it again, I am happy that governors are stepping up wanting to help with this, because interior enforcement is their responsibility too. They saw what happened to the crime rates. They see what happened to all the U.S. citizens that were attacked by people not supposed to be here. They've read all the stories on the young women raped and murdered by members of criminal cartels that were released in this country by administration. They're angry too, and they're happy that President Trump's taking action to not only secure the border at the highest level ever, but to make this country safe again. I'm glad governors are stepping up, but I'll say it again. I would like to see bigger facilities that be more efficient, holding several thousand people. But 1,000-bed facility is a great help because we need those 1,000 beds. We need them today. So the quicker they bring it on, the better.
What about the
Can you extend the veranda?
Thank you.
Okay, Tom Homan there telling us how he feels about the new Indiana's Alligator Alcatraz. They're calling it the Speedway Slammer, saying it's going to hold up to 1,000 illegals. It's pretty interesting. He's saying that he would like to see larger facilities being built. This Speedway Slammer is supposed to be another facility where they're going to have like judges on site or people who can fill in for judges to get this due process done as quickly as possible. Try and get these illegals up out of the country. Good stuff. Next up, we got our midlife break, our funny video halfway through. This one was provided by Stoner and it's titled Being a Man is Hard. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about Tom Homan. Russell Tom needs to wax his forehead. Tom's no hoe, man. Can't be mean to Tom Homan. Jesus loves us. He's got to wax his forehead. The one day he was like bearded up. We covered a video and he was like all scruffy and stuff, like he had been drinking all weekend. What's up, D-Cat? Happy freedom. Kevin, he's got a funny looking head. He's had to put up with illegals and shit. Who knows what all the things he's had to go through. Boost of Flames. Yay, Indiana. Get them out of this mug. Yep. I wonder where else they're going to be building these alligator Alcatraz style detention centers. This is the second one we heard of. I can't even remember what the last one was called now. We just covered it a couple days ago. I can't remember what it's called now. Anyways, this is like the third alligator Alcatraz, but a couple weeks ago we covered a video that they were saying that there was 5 governors that were ready to build their own alligator Alcatraz. So I assume shortly we're going to hear about 3 more facilities being built. Grinch's bro, happy freedom to you. Tom speaks his mind. Yeah, he does, and I like that. Booze Flames, I'm going to take a field trip. Metamouth, are you offering spankings? That's one way to pick the ladies up. Goth, the illegals got bank accounts in 2009. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that should have never happened. They shouldn't be here, you know? That's the real thing. They should not be here. Russell, hire me as a deportation judge. They might. You just got to apply. Zero, they can use Camp Otterbury, south of Indiana. That's where they brought them in at. Maybe they will convert that that facility there. For the Texan Bank of Commies. It sounds like it. Goth, you're an athletic girl? Nothing wrong with that. Free as Z can be. A couple of decades ago, we were urged to use our local credit union. Then, mother-daughter employee duo was caught embezzling. That's interesting. I've always heard that it's better to use credit unions, but I don't know why. I think it has to do with loans. I think if you go to a regular bank that's small, it's not like a Bank of America, they have to ask somebody else to give you loans. And that way they get their cut. They're playing the middleman. Whereas if you go to a credit union, I think they themselves can give you loans. Now, I might be wrong on that. That might just be situations that go on here. I've tried to get loans and stuff, trying to get a mortgage and stuff like that. And that's always the way things have been while I've tried to pursue those loans. Credit time, there's money to be made. That's right. What's up, Max? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Bobby Johnson? Happy freedom to you. Due process is for normalized citizens. Yeah, I think they should just skip due process. They didn't go through any process when they got here. What's up, Not What It Seems? Happy freedom. What's up, David? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Debbie? Happy freedom to you. Tory Wayne, credit unions often offer lower fees, better interest rates on loans and savings, and more personalized customer service compared to traditional banks. They're not-for-profit institutions that prioritize their members' financial well-being over generating profits. Interesting. I did not know that. Thank you for letting me know, Tory Wayne. Zero, I think my credit union is owned by the account holders. That's cool. I might have to go get an account at a credit union. Turbo, naming it something catchy sounds like a move from Trump. Indiana Detention Center for Migrants sounds too normal, but Speedway Slammer, now that's some flair to it. People will like it more. I think you're right, Turbo. I'm trying to remember what the other one was called, because we just covered that they were building a facility in Texas, and they were calling it something else, but they were saying it was their version of Alligator Alcatraz, and I cannot remember what they were calling it. Mana, where's Klaus? He's around here somewhere. I'll scoop him up before the live is over. He might be over there staring out the window. I think the baby bird's got big enough to fly away. It's just an empty nest sitting there. Now Klaus is all alone. Freethinking Tex, an alligator Alcatraz in Texas should be called Redneck Paradise. I'm going to look it up because I can't remember what it's called. See if we can find it really quick. So we just covered it. Of course, this isn't going to tell me what it's called. I don't know. I'll have to look it up after the live. I can't remember what they were calling it. They were calling it something else. It had its own name, but either way, moving forward here. Neon Love Machine, MailChimp, more like Butt Monkey. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, we're moving forward here. Midlife break. Funny video halfway through. This one was provided by Stoner. It's titled Being a Man is Hard. But before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, if you would like to join the membership program over on Rumble and become an official hooligan, all you have to do is click that big red subscribe button right below where you type in the chat. Now, if you're on Android and using the Rumble app, you got to go to the rumble.com website using a browser or something like that. Log in, come to the live, hop in the chat, and like I said, right below where you type in the chat, you will see that big red subscribe button. Click that button and jump through the hoops, and your name will be highlighted as an official Rumble hooligan. You'll have access to our custom emojis. We got chapstick emojis, screaming goat emojis, Klaus Daniels emojis, President Trump emojis, and more. It's a lot of fun during the live, especially during a Trump live. So definitely go join the membership program over on Rumble. Let's get this funny video pulled up. Where is it sending us? To the Discord. You guys should go join Discord. You should just go do the thing right now. Anyways, like I said, this was provided by Stoner. This is titled Being a Man is Hard. Yeah. Now, if you didn't read the caption, it says, when people rub your pregnant girlfriend's stomach and say congratulations, but nobody tickles your balls and says, well done. It's hard being a man. Either way, getting back into the news here. Next up, we got axe murderer in Minnesota has been released from prison after state law has been enacted. Now, we just covered a week or so, it might have been more of that, maybe 2-3 weeks ago, we were covering how California was trying to pass a law where if you got a life sentence as a teenager, as a minor of sorts, and maybe it was below 21, I can't remember, something along those lines, you would not have to actually serve life. You could get out early. Now, apparently, Minnesota's doing the same. Hit the like button if you haven't already, and let's get into this.
All right, it's time now for a segment we call the alternate juror, where you decide who's in the right and who's not. So last week, a 4-time axe murderer walked out of a Minnesota prison for the much less stringent confines of a halfway house. David Brom was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole for killing his parents and 2 younger siblings back in 1988 when he was just 16 years old. He was tried as an adult, convicted of first-degree murder. That would have been that, except for a state law that passed in 2023 that ended life without parole sentences for juveniles. Now, Minnesota became the 28th state to do that. Brom became eligible for parole immediately, and last month he was cleared to join a work release program under supervision and GPS monitoring 24/7. The state rep who wrote the new law applauds Brom's second chance, saying, and I quote, "No one should have to spend their entire life behind bars for something they were convicted of as a child when they've spent decades behind being rehabilitated." The Minnesota House Speaker disagrees, saying she's very, very disappointed and very concerned at David Brom's release. So what do you think? Should everyone, even an axe murderer, get a second chance? Email us at banfieldtips@newsnation.com.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe.
That's why I hate they stick them fucking ads all over the damn videos. Anyways, they're saying Minnesota has now joined what is now 28 states that have ended life without parole sentences for juveniles. David, the axe murderer, he killed his parents and his 2 younger siblings with an axe at the age of 16. He's now being released from prison at the age of 53. Do you guys think that this is something that all states should participate in? And like I had mentioned earlier, California's talking about doing the same thing. They're going to have similar laws where you have to meet certain requirements, and if you do, you no longer have to serve your life sentence. You can now get out. Now, California had pretty clear stipulations. You had to serve like 20 years or something like that of your sentence before you were even eligible. Minnesota, they didn't really list those details. Either way, next up we got Ghislaine Maxwell reportedly cleared Trump in the interview with the DOJ. They're talking about potentially releasing the records from that interview that happened with Ghislaine Maxwell, where they were interviewing her for 2 days. They're talking about releasing that information. Also, she had apparently made some statements that clear President Trump of wrongdoing in the public's eye anyways. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about this axe murderer being released from prison in Minnesota. Russell, I don't know what you're saying. What was that made the law? I don't know specifically what you're asking, Russell. Also, Russell, I was trying to tell you yesterday, I watched The Blues Brothers. I watched it on Sunday. I've been trying to tell you that since Monday, and I keep forgetting I mentioned it yesterday, but I'm not sure if you were sitting in the chat. My favorite part of watching The Blues Brothers is how they kept being in these like demolition scenes where the woman like hit the building with a bazooka and it brought the whole building down, and they just got up and like dusted themselves off and went and got in the car. Or like they were in the phone booth, and I think she did the same thing, hit him with a bazooka, and it like flew in the air and then hit the ground, and then they just kind of dusted themselves off and walked it off. The Blues Brothers is a pretty good movie, and I appreciate you sending me that, Russell. Tori Wayne, we had a baby bird here all day. Mustang went nuts. She paced and was talking all day. It just sat in front of our bedroom window all day until about an hour ago. Now she's sleeping. Yeah, it's funny how birds stress cats out. Russell, yeah, a mission from God. Yeah, that movie is so good. I'm going to have to watch the new one now to compare it. Ghostly, they are on a mission from God. It's so funny. There's so many funny parts of that movie. What's up, Mama Bear? Happy freedom to you. Grinch Bro, the nun with the ruler. Yeah, and she's like floating in and out of the room and all of that. The doors are opening on their own. DCat, Happy Gilmore 2 is funny. Even when I thought it would be. I'm just saying. Well, thank you for letting me know, DCat. I've been wanting to see the new Happy Gilmore. I think it's on Netflix. When I get some time, I'm going to watch that too. Goth, remakes are rarely better. Yeah, that's how I feel too. Willie Fix It, it's dark. We're wearing sunglasses. Yeah, you know, and I was thinking that while I was watching the movie. I bet it was difficult for them to, you know, play their characters while wearing sunglasses in some of those dark scenes. Lone Wolf, I want to see it. I just don't want to pay for it. You talking about Happy Gilmore? It's on Netflix, I'm pretty sure. Pumpkin, keep the bad guys in prison. Absolutely. Watchmen, he should never see the light of day. I remember that crime. Yeah, I feel like maybe they need more stipulations on who could and should be released. It seems like Minnesota doesn't have a whole lot of requirements. Neon Love Machine, JP Morgan sunk the Titanic. I've heard a lot of people say that. For the Texan Blues Brothers is based. It is. I didn't realize until I saw it, and I was like, yeah, okay, I understand why everybody likes this movie now. Ghostly, no problem putting a 17-year-old to death for killing his family. Yeah, well, and he was arrested as a 16-year-old, but yeah, as soon as you turn 17, you get treated like an adult. Only when it comes to crime, though. You can't join the military, you can't buy cigarettes, you can't go to rated R movies, but you can go to jail and prison. And I really don't understand that. I understand if you committed bad crimes, like you did murder or something like that, but like you get caught jaywalking and a 17-year-old, you're going to jail. And it's like, that doesn't make any sense. Goth, commit adult crimes, do adult time. That's right. That's right. Will he fix it? Bring back the gallows. Yep. Totally care. Dude killed them with a hatchet. Pure evil. Yeah, I agree. Kill your 2 younger siblings and both your parents with an axe, and then you get out? I don't know. Relax, they have lower requirements than the Rumble Creator Program. You just reminded me we are going to have to do an ad read today, but we got 3 out of the 5 already out of the way. Well, after today we will. We've already hit like 2 of the 5 requirements that we're supposed to hit in the month, and we're still on week 1. We don't begin week 2 until Friday, so we're doing pretty good on the Creator Program requirements. But at some point, we're going to have to do 5 hours of premium live streaming, and we're going to offer a coupon for you guys to be able to watch on the website for free for a limited amount of time while we're doing the premium live streams. That way, if you're not a premium member over on Rumble, which is not the same thing as joining the membership program, but if you don't have a premium account on Rumble, you'll still be able to go to the website and watch for free while we're doing it'll probably be 2 days of premium live streaming. I'm still not sure what we're going to show because I don't really want to create hurdles for you guys to be able to watch the news, so I'm still figuring that out. But eventually we are going to have to do those 5 hours of premium live streaming, but I'm going to make sure you guys are going to be able to watch even if you don't have Rumble premium accounts. Tori Wayne, if he kills again, Minnesota should be held liable. That's a good idea. It should be that way. Yep. If an offender gets out from a life sentence and they recommit the crime or commit another heinous act, the judge that let him off should be held accountable. Matt Rogers, you guys got quails? I have never seen a quail before. That is the first image I've ever seen of quails. Crit Kiss, you make supper and I'll pour the drinks. That's right. Totally down for that. What's up, James? Happy freedom to you. James, they were having so much trouble getting their lines out as it was rumored of how much coke they did in the first scene of the Blues Brothers. Interesting. I'll have to go back and watch it. I know in the beginning he was getting out of prison and stuff, but I need to go back and watch it because now I have a better understanding of who they are as characters and in relation to each other. There's a lot of singing. That was the other thing. There's a lot of singing in the Blues Brothers. Lots of like Broadway style singing and dancing. A lot more than I was expecting. DCAT, we have pheasants in Michigan. They're beautiful birds. I don't know if I've seen a pheasant. Maybe. For the Texan, it's kind of a musical. Yeah. Tori Wayne, quails are super cute birds. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of birds. Russell, it's a musical. Yeah, I guess I didn't really realize that, but there was quite a bit of singing in it. DCAT, they're just show tunes? Yeah. Beck Frank, because you're meant to shake a tail feather. See, that makes more sense. For the Texan? Yeah, I don't think we got Roadrunners up here. That's funny. Scratsy, with that resume, a butcher shop might hire him. They might. They might. They're going to say he's overqualified. They're going to turn down his application. He's overqualified. Freezy can be, of all the irony in the world, an axe murderer gets released. I know. It's the times we're living in. What's up, Bob Roberts? Happy freedom to you. Love Tina, it's crazy to go see a movie now. $15 to get in, $50 for popcorn. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Yeah, it's very expensive to go to the theater now. We have a drive-in movie theater in Muskegon. It's called the Getty. And they have 4 screens, and you park in the middle of like this giant parking lot in a field. And you get to watch one of the 4 movies that you want to watch. You set your radio station to whatever station they have provided, and you can hear the audio come in through your car speakers. And so you can watch one of the 4 movies they provide, then they take a break, and then they play a separate 4 videos. So you basically get 2 movies for the price of one, and you're hanging out in your car and stuff. It's all right. It's cheaper than going to the theater, and it's, I think, a better experience. The only downside is when you get done, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and then you're fighting traffic on the way home, everybody leaving the drive-in. But yeah, if you go to the movie theater here, you're spending like fucking $30 a person or something like that. I don't know. Not a huge fan of the theater. Tori Wayne, that's why my dad and I rent new movies at his place, and we make and order food cheaper, and we get more food and can pause to pee and stuff. Yeah, I could see that being a better experience. What's up, Enter User? Happy freedom. Goth, there used to be dollar movies where they showed a movie that had been out for a while. Yeah, they used to do that when I lived at the state line at the mall in South Bend. They used to have dollar movies, and it'd be movies that were older, but you could go watch it for $1. Actually, I think I saw Wizard of Oz in theaters. It was like an anniversary or something like that, and I went and saw it. I wish they still did that. They don't do that stuff around here. For the Texan theater here for a new release costs $6. That's a good deal. It's expensive here. It's like $20 a person, and then if you order anything, then you're looking at it adding another $20. The theater in Muskegon, the Carousel Cinema, they sell beer. And so you can sit there and drink beer while watching a movie. So if I have to go to a theater, that's the one I go to. Sit in the big leather seats and drink beer. I usually forget what the movie's about, but it's usually a good time if I can afford it. DCAT, it's called the Getty 4. Grew up next door to it. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's been a while since I've been to the Getty. They were talking about shutting it down like during COVID times, but I think they made it through. Met him out. The last time I went to the drive-in theater was when, for Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, came out in 1978. That's badass. The only Star Wars movie I saw in theaters was Episode 1. Like, you know, the newer ones that came out. Zero Rocky Horror Picture Show at midnight movies. Holy crap. My mom used to watch that a lot when I was younger. And I remember being like afraid of the movie, like just being afraid of what was happening on the screen. Now it's like early shapeshifter stuff. It's early shapeshifter propaganda. What's up, Junie Bug? Happy freedom to you. Zero. God. You got Pennywise there and drag. It's just, it's no good. Anyways, moving forward here, like I said, Ghislaine Maxwell reportedly cleared Trump an interview with the DOJ. Let's get this pulled up real quick, as quick as we can. All right. Hit that like button if you haven't already, and let's get into this.
Well, the Trump.
So they're saying maybe Pam Bondi will be releasing information about the 2-day interview that they did with Maxwell. Maybe. They're saying that Maxwell mentioned that she never witnessed Trump do anything concerning, and the transcripts or audio recordings could be released this week. We'll see. It's up to Pam Bondi, so, you know, it's kind of like 70-30% chance we don't get shit, but either way. Next up, criminal illegal gets restraining order against ICE. It doesn't make any sense, but it's in the news, and apparently he has a personal protection order against ICE agents, so he can't be deported. I don't know. Checkmate, I guess. I don't know how that works. Either way, it's coming up next. First, we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about Maxwell here, trying to clear President Trump's name, and potentially we're going to hear about that 2-day interview she did with the DOJ. Russell, clowns can be creepy. Attack of the Killer Clowns terrified me. I've never seen that, but I remember seeing the video cover walking through Family Video, but I've never actually seen the movie. Zero, didn't JD Vance just say in the live that Trump, the meeting isn't happening? I think he said, I'm not sure how to delegate it. They're saying that it was like mistitled. They were saying that some sort of meeting was going to happen for some reason, and I don't remember how they worded it. But when we just covered the live with President Trump at the very end, yeah, they had said that the headline was misleading. It was fake news. That's all I really know about it. Matt Rogers, one of the theaters around here sets up a parking lot for drive-ins for the summer. That's awesome. Russell, I made the mistake and watched Arachnophobia at the Dollar Theater. I made it halfway through and had to go. Yeah, that movie's pretty hardcore. Big nasty spider. Ghostly Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Yeah, yep. I haven't seen it. I've seen the movie cover though. Willie Fix-It Jizzlane just got new digs in Texas. Dog puppy place. Yeah, we covered that. It was either a few days ago or it was last week we covered it. Everybody claims that they don't understand why she got transferred. Nobody knows why. It just magically happened right after meeting with the DOJ. And so I assume it has something to do with that. Maybe we'll know more if they actually release the information about the interview that the DOJ did with her. Time will tell. I highly doubt we're going to see anything this week, regardless of what that video just said. I imagine we would see it next week. It doesn't really make sense for them to release information right before the weekend. I mean, maybe they will just so people can speculate all weekend, but I don't think we'll hear anything until next week. But it's just my opinion. What's up, J-Dog? Happy freedom to you. Ghostly, it's a good one. The Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I might have to check that out. I might have to put it on the wish list. Beck Frank. My friend's little sister dropped her pet rat on my head during the scene that all the spiders were dropping from the trees. I was arachnophobic, I can't even say it correctly, for years after that. How, Beck Frank? You live in Australia where like all the spiders are deadly. You could carry away your children and stuff like that. I figured you'd be okay with spiders and snakes and scary shit. You're from Australia. I guess I shouldn't assume things. Russell, I read lips. I'm just not saying what lips. Not me, I'm blind. I got to read those lips like Braille. You know, I'm just saying, Russell. Kirk is spiders to say the size of plates. Yeah, exactly. Turbo, don't forget some spiders in the house are good. I don't believe that. I get that indoor-outdoor spray and spray all around the perimeter. Dead spiders are the only good spiders. For the text, I love spiders and snakes. Not me. You always talk about how weird I am, and then you turn around and make statements like that. Come on, man. Stoner, Tremors was scary as shit as a kid. Yeah. You didn't get Footloose, though, with Kevin Bacon? During Tremors? I remember being scared of Tremors when I was younger, too. Metamouth, wasn't that the place that Martha Stewart did 5 months at? I don't know. I remember her going to prison, and I remember people making jokes about how she was a bigger criminal than Snoop Dogg was because they had that little show together for a while. But I don't know where she went to prison at. It'd be interesting if it was the same prison, though. Kevin, Maximum Overdrive scared the hell out of me. My uncle had a semi-truck repair place next door. That's funny, Kevin. I didn't know about Maximum Overdrive till we covered the convoys. And I think Wicked Patriot sent me the Maximum Overdrive movie, and I finally got to see it. It's pretty good. Pumpkin, you don't like clowns? There's a lot of people that don't like clowns. Totally care. Maxwell was sentenced to 20 years. She only has a few more to serve. I think she served 5 of the 20 years. I think she's got 15 left. Ghostly arrest Pam Bondi. Yeah, and they keep talking about pardons. They're trying to get a pardon from President Trump, and he better not pardon Maxwell. I don't care if she says good things about him or not. That ain't gonna work out. Metamouth, your birthday is coming up. You're gonna have to let us know. I love birthdays. DCAT, the original Evil Dead is awesome. If you ever get a chance, what I love, the chainsaw. See, I've never seen the Evil Dead. I think I know what you're talking about, though. There's a lot of people that like that. For the Texan, federal prison camp, Alderson, a minimum security women's prison in Alderson, West Virginia. What is that? She's in Texas, isn't she? Didn't Maxwell? Oh, that's where Martha Stewart went? Thank you for letting me know, for the Texan. I didn't realize they had an all-females prison in general. I always thought it was like a wing of a prison. I didn't realize they had whole prisons. I just figured there wasn't that many females in prison. Especially out in West Virginia. He's a guy, I don't even know what his name is anymore. Whatever his name is, whoever Forrest Gump is, I don't watch any of his movies anymore. Beck Frank. Yeah, I think maybe it's not you. I'm going to take a gander really quick. I know there's 2 hooligans. I saw it right before I started the live. Alistair and Captain Seamus. They got the same exact birthday. Relax. It's Virgos. I'm not good at this astrology stuff. What's up, Meta? Happy freedom to you. Meta, I missed the live yesterday because I went to LA Deputy Osborne's memorial service. Watched the replay. It was good. Freebird and You Boy Hooligans. Watch out for the dogs with the assault tail. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Happy freedom to you, Meta. Crazy times, you don't like clowns either? What do you guys not like about clowns? I feel like if I was going to fight any creature, fighting a clown would be the easiest. Tom Hanks, thank you, Crazy Times. Yeah, I could not think of his name. Free as he can be. No pardons for Ghislaine. Oh, Jizzy. Yeah, no. She doesn't deserve any pardons. I don't want to see President Trump pardon her. What's up, Crystal? Happy freedom to you. Should stay at the Clown Hotel. I've never heard of that. Let me Google this really quick. Are the prices funny? World famous Clown Motel. It's a unique lodging experience known as America's scariest motel. famous for its clown theme and adjacent historic cemetery. It features 31 individual decorated rooms, each with 2 to 3 pieces of clown art, along with standard amenities like heating, cooling, TV, refrigerator, microwaves, coffee maker. The property includes a free museum and has undergone exterior renovations with vibrant circus-inspired designs. Owned by Vijay Mayer, a former master chef with international hospitality experience, the motel aims to offer a memorable and themed stay. Interesting. Can I see pictures of this? It's in Nevada. I mean, I need to go to Nevada because I've never been there. So, we should do that. Why is this supposed to be scary, though? The scariest motel, it says over here on the side. I mean, these people got kids and stuff. Well, I'm going to keep those opinions to myself. But either way, these people got kids there. That's can't be that damn scary. They got the children there. The only thing scarier than a clown is Jeff with a gun. Anyways, reading through, and we'll move forward here in just a moment. Free as they can be. You don't like Tom Hanks or Robin Williams? How come you don't like Robin Williams? It's a big H. Happy freedom to you. Does the all-female prison have a list to write to? Could not be worse than current dating scene. It's going to be hard for them to send you pictures of their hoo-ha if they're in prison, big H. I mean, they'll figure it out. Big H, Evil Dead. What does this say? Thorn EMI production, creepy on levels you didn't even realize. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to see it. A lot of people talk about that movie. Big H, Killer Clowns from Outer Space Part 2. This time we brought spiders. Beware. What does it say? Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Very, very, very cheesy. I think I've heard of Attack the Killer Tomatoes too. What's up, K-Walt? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Teasel? Happy freedom to you. I should have looked up how much it costs to stay at the Clown Hotel. Zero. Clowns hide their face. They're deceptive. Everyone's deceptive and everyone lies and hides everything. At least clowns have makeup instead of looking at their real face while they lie to you. I don't know. It must be a psychological thing. I'm just not scared of clowns. Russell, Bozo was a cool clown, I suppose. Unless we find out he's on the Epstein list. You guys didn't even think of that, did you? Bozo the clown. He was waxing minors. That's bullshit, okay? I'm just making that up. I don't want to hear any lawsuits over fucking Bozo the clown. Crit Kiss, Gary, what's his name? You talking about Gary Busey? Metal Mouse Snakes on a Plane was pretty good. Really? I thought it would. I was so convinced that would be a stupid movie that I never watched it. Because I was like, what's the sequel? Snakes on a boat? Snakes in the limo? Snakes in your pants? I mean, like, I don't know. Kevin, you should book a room at the haunted ship, the Queen Mary, for Halloween and do a live stream. Just because you guys want to see me pee my pants and run and scream like a little girl. I don't like being scared. I don't like any of that stuff. Lone Wolf, would you do a hooligan ghost hunt stream like paranormal? Maybe. If there was enough of us. Maybe. WMM was trying to get me to do that stuff. He wanted me to do the random Nautica stuff where you go look up like geocaches or whatever, but supposedly it's spooky stuff or whatever. I don't know. I don't like being scared because when I get scared, everybody else becomes in danger. And then I get looked at like I'm the bad guy. And I don't like being in that situation. So maybe we'll do some paranormal live streams someday. What's up, Nutty Dexter? Happy freedom to you. Hard pass on the Clown Hotel. That's a hard no for you. I don't know. I'd stay there. I just want to know what's so scary about it. They say it's the scariest hotel. If it's just because they got clowns, I'd be fine. But the clowns want to interfere with what I'm doing in my room and stuff. That's, you know, things going to happen. Relax. The Queen Mary is haunted. Trust me. I believe you. I believe you. Relax. I don't want to find out on my own. Russell, Chucky was a freaky kid, though. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like possessed dolls and stuff either. Tori Wayne, give me 1,000 clowns over one icky spider any day. I like clowns more than spiders. That's for sure. Crit Kiss, bring your own sheets. Is that the policy? Free as he can be, just never liked Robin Williams. I heard after he died, people were accusing him of stealing jokes. But the whole time he was alive, I never heard that. So I don't know if they were scared of him showing up and punching them in the face for talking that shit or what. But I never heard that the whole time he was alive. And in the moment he kicked the bucket, they were like, yeah, Robin Williams, he was out here stealing jokes. Like, I don't know if that's bullshit or not. Either way, moving forward here. Like I said, criminal illegals get, or just this one criminal illegal gets a restraining order on ICE, which that doesn't make any sense, but it's real life, I guess. But before we get into this, we're going to have to do an ad read because it is required. Wait a minute, why is this not working? Maybe we won't be able to do an ad read. If they're not going to let it work, I'm going to end up having to tag Rumble Rick. There it goes. All right, we're going to do this really quick, and then we're going to move into the news. Oh, let's do this. Okay, barcode. Yep, we're good. All right. When Rumble first started in 2013, they built the platform for the small creator. They didn't censor or have biases. They were fair and treated all creators equally. No one thought platforms would censor political conversation or censor opinions on COVID, but they did. Facebook admitted that they fell to pressure from the Biden and Harris administration. Rumble did not. They held the line. They're attacked daily for giving us a voice to talk to you. They're attacked in corporate media. They're attacked by governments like France. They're attacked from brand advertisers who refuse to work with them. Corporate America is fighting to remove speech. Rumble is fighting to keep it. Rumble won't survive with brand advertisers. They don't get much of it. Watching our show on Rumble is the most they can ask from you. But if you really believe in this fight, and if you have the means, one major way that you can help Rumble survive is by joining Rumble Premium. Join the community that believes in the First Amendment and believes in our human rights to free speech. Rumble is offering $10 off with the promo code STUDIO when you purchase an annual subscription. Go to rumble.com/premium and use promo code STUDIO. Like I said, if you have the means and believe in the cause, now is the time to join Rumble. So there we go. We did the thing. Go join Rumble Premium because we got 5 hours of premium live streaming we got to do. All right, it is completed. Check that off the schedule there. We have done the thing. All right, like I said, getting into the news once again. Let's get this pulled up. This illegal, who's also a criminal outside of just being here illegally, he's a total piece of shit. And somehow a Biden judge gave him a personal protection order to protect him from ICE agents. Just doesn't make any sense. Hit the like button if you haven't already, and let's get into this. Okay. Now, really quick before we move forward, you guys got to clip this. Klaus Daniels here is ready to take your order. He's got his bow tie on. He's wondering if he can go get your drinks yet. If you guys are ready, or if you need more time, he can come back. He's a good boy. Look at Captain Klaus here. His little bow tie. Let me fix your collar there, buddy. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. Daniels, Klaus Daniels. Mwah, you're a good boy. You're a good boy. Don't lay your butt down. I tried to tell everybody you weren't fired yet. You got one more write-up, and then you're toast. You're toast. Anyways, like they were saying, this illegal served 10 years in prison for attempted murder. He's got many other run-ins with the law. Now he's an activist, and he was granted a personal protection order against ICE that he got by a Biden-appointed judge. She gave him the restraining order after he had been charged with felony vandalism. So it's crazy that they even recognize this personal protection order against ICE. Like, how does that make sense? He's just got immunity from being deported now. That doesn't make any sense. So somebody needs to step in and do something about that, in my opinion. Either way, next up, we got the last little bit of news, and like I said, it is Lefties losing it. This one's titled, Clinton's Called to Testify in Epstein Probe. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about this illegal who just got a restraining order against ICE. Tory Wayne, Sir Klaus is so handsome. I don't know, he's a good boy. I put those little ties on him, he starts strutting around like he's somebody. Cracks me up. Russell, deport that fucker. Yeah, exactly. I like how he's just an activist and how he was getting off the hook for mental health. Like I keep saying, people would not be claiming mental health for every time they screw up if the consequence was being committed to a padded room. You know, people only claim that they have mental health issues because it's an easy way to get off the hook. God, yeah, Klaus Daniels, he's so funny. Era 16009, Klaus Daniels, yep. Crick Kiss all dressed up and no place to go except for the litter box. Well, he's hanging out in his little box he's got over here, totally unbothered by his bow tie. Relax, so he's crazy, illegal, and was a gang member. Yeah, relax. You got it. What's up, Sly Dog? Happy freedom to you. DGAT, is Klaus Daniels going out for dinner at Red Lobster? I have questions. Nah, we can't afford Red Lobster over here. Crick is a top hat is a must. Could you imagine Klaus Daniels with a top hat and his little bow tie? Relax, get him the golden gun. The golden eye Klaus. Metal Mouth. Put Klaus on the job. He'll take care of the illegal criminals. He'll do it with style, too. Totally care a black tie affair. Klaus Daniels is styling. Era 16, it's a Fancy Feast commercial. That is funny. Thank you, Lone Wolf. Appreciate you clipping that. Got our first Rumblebot clip. What's up, Jay White? Happy freedom to you. Back Frank beer, please. Klaus Daniels. He's getting it right now. It takes him a little bit. He doesn't have thumbs. Crick Kiss cooking oil. Well, now, yeah. What was he doing? He's walking around shirtless and decided to steal their cooking oil. He thought he was going to help make America great again or something. Ghostly, his boyfriend is still locked up. He's trying to get back in. Forbidden love. Mm-hmm. Relax. I'm still laughing at Klaus falling and not giving two shits. I know, he's blobbed out on Klaus Tower. Ghostly, clipped and shipped. Thank you, Ghostly. Appreciate you. Grinches bro, they could treat his mental problems in Mexico. You're right, Grinches bro. Now he's got immunity from being deported. Makes a whole lot of sense. Tory Wayne, oh my god, yes, add more stuff to the wish list. I add stuff to the wish list like every day. But I will see what else I can find for Klaus. Get him a little top hat. Grinch bro, it rubs the cooking oil on the skin. Or else it gets the tamales again. I'm pretty sure that's how it went. God, Klaus is like, pardon me, do you have any gray poupon? Mm-hmm. He's over here salty looking now. Oh, I'll check it, Sly Dog. We still got a little bit, but thank you for letting me know. Meta, Tom Hanks, what did he do? My brother lived next door to him in San Diego. Hanks would rake his dirt driveway like a Zen garden so he could match tire tracks and send the police to neighbors over disturbing the dirt trespassing. Interesting, Meta. I don't know. A lot of people say he was involved in pedo stuff. Guess who? Happy freedom to you. That order won't stand up in court freedoms. Yeah, see, and that's what I mean. I'm surprised that they even acknowledge the protection order at all, with it being against agents. What's up, Mr. Lynn? Happy freedom. What's up, Parabellum? Happy freedom to you. Oh, love you too, Mana. What's up, Wrestler? Happy freedom. People who like being scared have an inferiority fetish. Interesting. I've never heard that before. Dusto, Tom Hanks hangs out with old Bummer. Yeah, see. Birds of a feather. That's awesome, Tori Wayne. They already got gifs of Klaus Daniels there. He's styling Klaus Daniels. All right, hooligans, moving into this last little bit of the news. Like I said, it's Lefties losing it. This one's titled, Clinton's called to testify in the Epstein probe. And we got to say probe, and then we're putting Rita on the screen. This is how we get the hooligans fired up. Hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommentTube, and let's get into this.
It's time for Lefties losing it, and Lizzo has taken aim at American Eagle, mocking their ads featuring Sydney Sweeney. First, she posted this to Instagram with the caption, "My jeans are black," and then she released this video.
Oh, give me some space. It's way too hot up in here. I'm sweating out of my lace. Don't need no bottle service. We pulled up with our drinks. Trunk full of that Ace. Trunk full of that Henny. If we ain't got no Waffle House, we pulling up to the Denny's. I'ma give him a grand slam. He pulling off of the panties. The way he hit from the back, I might give him one of my Grammys. Shut this for the culture. That left, right, and that bend it over. Got scissor and Doja. I ate that. Now let's do it over. What did I told you? I'm going into October. Like the fun is over. Like summer's over.
You know what? The end of the body positivity movement has been great for Lizzo. She has dropped a lot of weight, which is wonderful for her health. And I'm just glad her pants are intact these days. I'm sorry for what you're about to see. Now, this next young lady is here to school us. Unfortunately, around 82% of everything she says is inaccurate, but good on you for trying, love.
First of all, you don't get denim blue without black hands, without black knowledge. So why are they still centering whiteness to sell us something that we literally built? The iconic denim blue wouldn't exist without indigo. And indigo didn't grow here. Indigo was brought here along with the people who knew how to grow it, how to ferment it, and how to turn it into dye. That deep blue, our ancestors mastered it long before white people knew what to do with the plant.
Now let's check in on MSNBC, the mental health facility posing as a TV network. And I wonder, is Rachel Maddow still having paranoid fantasies about living under a dictatorship? This woman needs help.
Life has not stopped, and none of our personal lives have stopped. But also, at the same time, life in the United States is profoundly changing, is profoundly different than it was even 6 months ago. because we do now live in a country that has an authoritarian leader in charge.
Come on, man.
We have a consolidating dictatorship in our country.
Incredible. How that woman shows her face after all the lies, all the misinformation she pushed about the Russian collusion hoax is beyond me. She is shameless. And talking about shameless, just when you thought the awfuls, that's the affluent white female lefties, just when you thought they couldn't get any crazier, here they accuse God of not receiving the Virgin Mary's consent.
Well, he didn't. The Holy Spirit conceived Jesus in her womb.
Did Mary give God consent to put Jesus inside of her?
Okay, here is another totally rational awful telling you that if you don't wear masks when you're out of your home, then you're all for killing disabled black folk.
Good genes passed on to offspring? That American Eagle ad with Sydney Sweeney is literally overt eugenics. I know you don't want to hear this, but if you want to talk about how that ad is promoting eugenics, which it absolutely is, we also have to talk about how choosing not to wear a mask when you can during an ongoing pandemic, because you're okay with a certain subset of people, primarily disabled people of color, dying for your own comfort, is also eugenics, just the more normalized kind.
We're going to stick with the awfuls. Here's one in the wild. She thinks she's saving the world by obstructing ICE officers.
Don't fucking push me. You're taking him before I can take a phone number from him?
You need to stop.
You need to stop kidnapping people off the street.
100%.
You just dragged him away when I'm trying to call his family for him.
We're making an arrest. You need to stay
Show
back
me
from
your
my
arrest
way.
warrant then. Show me your arrest warrant.
I don't need to show you anything.
Yeah, because you're a liar.
You're not an interested party. You have no right to see that.
Stop! You guys are kidnapping people off the street.
In this next clip, we've got a very foolish prediction from an awful. Be careful what you wish for, lady.
Unpopular opinion, but if we took all MAGA men from ages 18 to 50 and replaced them with immigrants, violence against women and children would decrease to almost 0%.
Shut up, bitch! Now let's step up the crazy and hear from Democrat Texas State Rep Yolanda Jones. Here she claims American citizens will be deported, and she even compares the Texas redistricting to the Holocaust.
And then integration happened and everybody thought they accept us. They don't accept us. They are showing us who they are. We should believe them. And we better have the courage to stand up. Otherwise, we will fall for anything. And in this country, we will be defeated, deported. I mean, we will lose all of our rights. And if you think it can't happen, it can. And I will liken this to the Holocaust. People are like, well, how did the Holocaust happen? How was somebody in a position to kill all them people? Well, good people remain silent. Or good people didn't realize that what happens to them can very soon happen to me or somebody I love.
Can you believe that? You've got Don Lemon just nodding along like the fool he is. Now let's see what happens at a leftist protest when someone is misgendered. Oh no.
Shut up! These are radical Christians in there that are housing neo-Nazis. Right, but and you're defending. God, they don't, stupid.
They don't push gays off the top.
Are
of the
you
building for being
kidding?
gay.
Shut the up,
they
you
don't.
bigot. Shut the up. You don't want to learn.
He needs to learn how to communicate like you do.
Shame.
Oh, are you going to threaten me?
He's like, you need to learn how to communicate.
Now, here are some truly confused folk in London. Not only do they not really know what gender they are, but they are chanting for Palestine, a place where they would not be allowed to march, they wouldn't be allowed to chant, they wouldn't be allowed to exist. This is like turkeys chanting for Christmas.
Palestine will live forever. Free, free. Palestine, free, free. Palestine. Palestine.
Staying in the UK, the kids are revolting at the University of Birmingham.
We, an autonomous grouping of disenfranchised students, have today entered into occupation inside the building of Guild of Students in the University of Birmingham for the duration of the NUS conference, Lead and Change. After NUS have refused to answer our open letter calling out their complicity in genocide, instead responding indirectly to pressure without acknowledging it by publishing a statement which pretends to call for justice, but which, unlike their older statement on the Middle East crisis, doesn't commit to any plan or real action from NUS.
Profound. Like I said, the kids are revolting, and I wouldn't suggest wearing that outfit in Gaza, love, but imagine being so far left that the far left NUS, the National Union of Students, is not left enough for you.
Who stand fundamentally opposed to genocide, who have been marginalised by NUS's political abdication in the face of genocide. Our occupation will last for the duration of the Lead and Change conference. We're prepared to disrupt any location should the organisers attempt to transfer to another venue.
Oh, I know what you're saying. You want to hear more from that rather odd, confused girl. Well, here she is. Her name is Star. And here she accuses the student union of being complicit in genocide.
50 universities around the UK that have signed an open letter condemning the NUS's complicity in the genocide of Palestinians. This is an appalling, embarrassing attempt to stifle the student voice and contribute to the normalisation of genocide.
Welcome back. Now, watch just how low and deplorable these anti-Trump activists were willing to go, whether they were in the intelligence community or the media. This exchange between James Comey and Stephen Colbert should be studied by future generations. This is beyond Orwellian. And as you watch this, remember Comey knew the Steele dossier was utter fiction, manufactured for the Democrats.
You went in January of 2017 to tell President Trump about the Steele dossier. How did you tell him that there was? You didn't mention that at all.
I thought I served enough notice without going to that part.
Okay, and what did he say when you told about this?
He denied it. He interrupted me and denied it in pretty strong terms.
Utterly contemptible, beyond contempt. Joining me now is political commentator and author of...
All right, that's Rita with Lefties Losing It. And like I said, that does wrap up all the news for the day. We're going to get into the fun stuff. We're going to be opening today's door of the Advent Calendar sent by Tori Wayne. Today is the last box we're going to be opening from that Advent Calendar. Tomorrow we'll be starting something new. And then we got our two funny videos of the day. First one was provided by Beck Frank, and it's titled, It's Beer 30 Somewhere. And our official funny video of the day was provided by Tiger Jaw, and it's titled, Life Comes At You Quick. All of that's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about the Lefties losing it. Tori Wayne, arrest him. Yeah, for real. Talking all that nonsense about President Trump hanging out with hookers in Moscow getting peed on. Sounds like a good time, but it never happened, so no justice, though. Yeah, Tori Wayne, it's the last one for Klaus today. Russell Comey needs to be wearing stripes? Absolutely. Russell, too much stupidity in this world? I agree. God, Comey is still doing the Russia P tapes BS? No, I think they're just playing an old clip just to bring it up. What's up, Cass? Happy freedom to you. For the Texans, so they're saying that Trump has a piss fetish. I mean, that's what they were implying back in 2016 or whatever. Pumpkin, I'm speechless. Yeah, these lefties they're going full tard. Hey, thank you for being here, Era16. Enjoy the rest of your day. For the Texan, that was from 2018. Yeah, I figured it was old. For the it listed it in the corner. Thank you for pointing that out. Meta, people are so weak. Yeah, the mindless left. Brad, what the fuck she got on? It looks stupid. You talking about the woman that's got bones hanging out of her face? I don't know what she was doing. Not trying to be attractive, I know that. Most of you hooligans are just typing in what the fuck in the chat over and over again. Well, we'll go ahead and get into the fun stuff. Like I said, we're going to be opening today's door of the Advent Calendar sent by Tori Wayne, and we got our two funny videos of the day. But before we get into that, I want to remind you hooligans, if you would like to support the live to keep us running, you're welcome to use the links in the description. in order to send donations. You can do that by using PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Zelle, Venmo, Locals, Buy Me a Coffee, or you can even send crypto. Let's see what today brings for Klaus Daniels from this advent calendar sent by Tori Wayne. Like I said, today is day 24. The box is now empty. We're going to set this here for Klaus so he can sit in it because he's funny like that. Day 24. Come here, big Klaus Daniels. Meow, meow. Come here. He's like, I want to see what it is first before you stick another bow tie on me. It's another worm. This one's orange, though. He's got a green one. What is the other one? Purple or blue? I can't find it now. Now he's got an orange one. Come here, buddy. Here, I'm going to leave it here. You got to come get it. He's yawning at me. You can't be that tired. Now he's slow blinking me. It's because it's fancy feast time. Thank you, Tori Wayne. I appreciate you. All right, hooligans. Let's get into these funny videos here. Hold on a second. All right. Figure my buttons out. This was provided by Beck Frank, and this is titled, It's Beer 30 Somewhere. They don't know. Yes. It's Beer 30 Somewhere. Moving into our official funny video of the day. This one was provided by Tiger Jaw. Let's get this pulled up. What are you doing, Klaus Daniels? Trying to see if you fit in the box? Did you ask it for consent? You are gigantic. Holy. Anyways, getting this pulled up here. Hold on a second. GoofTube. Like I said, this was provided by Tiger Jaw. This is titled, Life Comes at You Quick.
What was that? What the fuck was that?
Fish.
Go get your hat sinking.
Like he's just casual. It was a fish. He's awake now. Alright, hooligans, that is all the coffee I had for you guys today. I'm gonna grab this Linktree link really quick. I'm gonna drop it in all the chats. We're gonna read through them. We got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up, and then of course after the pledge we are gonna be raiding out over on Rumble, so don't leave just yet. It's Klaus Daniels slithering over here to check out his worm. Alright, hooligans, there is the Linktree link where all of my links are listed. So if you'd like to make donations, join membership programs, or purchase any merch, would really appreciate it. All of your guys' contributions keep us running every day except for Sunday, because we gotta have a day to recharge those batteries. Definitely go join Discord. Discord is our free hooligan community. It's the best way to be notified every single time we go live. The hooligans are there keeping the conversation going 24/7, and we have 2 news boards to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. So definitely go join Discord. If you're feeling real saucy, go join jeffmaclive.com. Over on the website, it is the best way to experience the live. Our built-in chat has more ability than any other platform. You can post memes and GIFs and custom emojis and links and all kinds of stuff right there while watching the live. You also have access to Hooligans Alley, which is our private social media area. You'll have access to the forums, the arcade, and our advanced messaging system with the built-in group chats. So definitely go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com. It's the home of the hooligans. Like I said, we're going to read through and we got the pledge coming up, and then we are raiding out over on Rumble. Russell Dam got knocked out by a carp. I'm surprised you could tell what it was. It was so quick. He looked all excited to go fishing after that. That's what she wishes she said, Tori Wayne. I missed it. Russell, so much beer wasted. No, it just looked like they were just wasting the foam, you know? I think it was alright. Goth fish slapped. He looked like he liked it. Met him out, the fish to the face will definitely wake you up. It sounds like a sexual innuendo, but I believe you. What's up, otters? Happy freedom to you. DCat making fish punches great again. Great in the face again. Yeah, DCat. Hey, thank you for being with us, Rappy. Enjoy the rest of your day. What's up, Tiger Jaw? Happy freedom to you. Tiger Jaw, his old lady knew what it was because she threw it. I was wondering if that's what happened. Meta, now I'm thirsty. I know, I'm about ready for a beer too, but I gotta lose 30 more pounds before I'm drinking beer. Oh, I appreciate you, Mana. Thank you. Nicholas James Comey wears footy pajamas only when his boyfriend's around. Alright, hooligans, it is that time once again. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, I got 15 minutes until the grocery store closes, and then I'm not going to be able to eat today. So we're going to have to figure out who we're rating really quick here so I can make it down the road. Let me see. Who is live? Salted Cracker's live, but we can't rate him because his channel's not set up for it. What about Frag? Have we rated Frag this week? I think we already did raid Frag this week. What about Mrs. Ma'am? Is she doing a premium live? No, but she's been live for 2 hours already. What about Nelly Bean? She's only been on for 2 minutes. Let me see. Yeah. Well, actually, Sergeant Wilkie's playing right now. He's been on for an hour. He's only got 9 people watching, so let's boost his chat. Let's do that. All right, hooligans. Don't forget, hit that like button as soon as you land for the raid. And let's get this rolling.
No, I can't. Sorry, buddy. You're dead.
Danger marked. About 70 meters from my position. Reloading. 1 second.
No! No! Trying to pick your fucking pocket. Yo, great cheers, Ghosty. Yo, Slide Dog. JeffMAC with the raid.
Warm it all up. Everything you
Cricket
got.
Kids, knock knock. Hooligan raid. Welcome everybody. Welcome Raiders. I'm just over here dying. As you can see, I'm just dying. Watching people just walk all over my dead corpse.
Warm it all up. Everything you got.
Come on in. How y'all doing? You guys got freaking Rumbot working overtime. Let's go. Everybody celebrate. JeffMAC, how was your raid and stream and everything? Happy hump day, everybody. Bananas in the chat. We like bananas. It's good for potassium. So I've been told. Jay White, Lone Wolf.
Fantastic raid, you hooligans. Very nice. Well, we're going to read through really quick, but we are wrapping this up. We'll be live again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Like I said, we're reading through and wrapping her up. Hey, thank you for being here, Zero. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hey, thanks for being here, Grinches, bro. Back Frank, ruse and beer. That's my afternoons. I'm scared of those ruse. They're all buff and stuff. Looking like gang members. Yeah, DCat, I got the link. I am going to get some more footage. I'm going to go and record a video for where the hooligan picnic is going to be, and that way you guys can have a virtual tour. I was going to do it yesterday and I ran out of time. But I don't know if you checked out the page since I updated it, so there you go. Hey, thank you for being here, Bill Clay. Ghostly, it's the engine noise that makes them jump like that. I was wondering why a fish would just jump like that. What's up, Aco? Happy freedom to you. Oh yeah, I forgot, Meta. I forgot. I gotta run down the street. Thank you for reminding me, Meta. Gen X, you follow them too? That's cool. They seem like cool people. He seems neat and fun. I like his little dance party thing for the raid. Very cool. We need something like that. Either way, gotta wrap this up because I have to go get food, otherwise I don't get to eat. But I appreciate all of you guys being here. Thank you for helping me cover the news, and thank you for helping me make the news suck a little less. Go out there, enjoy your day, find yourself some good food. I'm gonna try and do the same, but make your way back to us tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time, for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Huge shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans, and I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support, and I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.